And don't worry, I made a new one, I don't to bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, I don't to bounce. Uli go crazy, I don't to bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, I don't to bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, I don't to bounce. Choo crazy, I don't to bounce. Your feet crazy, I don't to bounce. Let's go crazy, I don't to bounce. Belly go crazy, I don't to bounce. Mini nani. Zanku is boring. Giddy sonny. Naja be touching. Azoto die eye koko. Naja for friend no alingo. Asawe die eye simple. Fana don't call me now. Watch me do my azonto. Now watch me do my azonto. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, azonto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, azonto bounce. Uli go crazy, azonto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, azonto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, azonto bounce. Choo crazy, azonto bounce. Your feet crazy, azonto bounce. Let's go crazy, azonto bounce. Belly go crazy, azonto bounce. Azonto bounce. Back in my little sound. Azonto bounce. Back, yeah. Azonto like my money. I bring them back like Sankofa. I spice some small, you know, papa. You hear more songs from my own bada. Forget it. No man can contest it. Forget it. My Azonto blow bad, forget it. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, Azonto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, Azonto bounce. Uli go crazy, Azonto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, Azonto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, Azonto bounce. Choo crazy, Azonto bounce. Your feet crazy, Azonto bounce. Let's go crazy, Azonto bounce. Belly go crazy. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, Azonto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, Azonto bounce. Uli go crazy, Azonto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, Azonto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, Azonto bounce. Choo crazy, Azonto bounce. Your feet crazy, Azonto bounce. Let's go crazy, Azonto bounce. Belly go crazy, Azonto bounce. Azonto bounce. Azonto bounce. Azonto bounce. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, Azonto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, Azonto bounce. Uli go crazy, Azonto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, Azonto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, Azonto bounce. Choo crazy, Azonto bounce. Your feet crazy, Azonto bounce. Let's go crazy, Azonto bounce. Belly go crazy, Azonto bounce.
Banger.
Okay. Welcome everybody. This is the Progressive Mind Show. You are warmly welcome. We missed you. It's been sometimes the weekly shows sometimes comes across like months. I just can't wait to come your way every Wednesday around this time. It's always been like a long shot after every Wednesday. And so we're glad to be coming your way. This is the Progressive Mind Show, where we build our community by engaging you and I in critical dialogues such as this evening's topic. Ghana goes to the ballot on the 7th of December, which is next week, Monday, right? Monday, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, Monday. Ghana is...
That's correct. It's been declared a holiday as well.
Oh, okay. So it's not correct on Monday. Monday, is it Tuesday?
It's Monday. Monday is correct.
Okay, Monday is correct. Okay. All right. I just got a little sidetracked there by one of my guests. He was confirming Monday, and I was hearing something different. This is technology time. Everything is on. Everything's online, and it can be patchy sometimes. But yes, the exciting thing is that we are going to talk about Ghana, our beloved country, Ghana. Okay, and so I encourage you to share the feed if you are watching us on Facebook and on YouTube. On YouTube, it's the Progressive Mind Show. On Facebook, it's Progressive Minds. We're going to take the Captain Mike segment, and after that, we'll go to our guests this evening to engage them. Tell us about what we should all be knowing or thinking while we prepare ourselves to go to the ballot in Ghana on the 7th of December. Your favorite host, Alinko, is going to be, as usual, in the seat, and we shall go to Captain Mike to tell us what's going on with regards to weather, sports, and health. My brother, it's been I don't think it's been that cold. I think it just started dipping maybe 2-3 days ago.
Well, right now we've entered meteorological winter, and we're pretty much right on the normal. Right now, our normal high is about 40 degrees, and that's where we're at. Normal low this time of year is going to get down to 27, and tonight we're going to get down to just about 31 degrees. So we're really close to our average temperatures here and there. Tomorrow, we're going to have some partly cloudy skies, temperature 38 degrees. It's going to drop down to a low of 30 if the wind's out of the west. Friday, 37 degrees, low of 32, partly cloudy skies. Saturday is going to be a decent day, high of 37, low of 34. Sunday, we're going to, late Sunday night into early Monday morning, may have a few flurries, nothing really drastic, maybe a little accumulation, close to nothing, maybe a dusting. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be decent days. Winds are out of the west, so that's going to be a little bit of a warm-up up to 40. We're looking at maybe 42 degrees on Wednesday, so not too bad of a week and not too bad of a start to winter, as you're saying. And a lot of the models are showing that this is going to be an above normal winter as far as temperature goes, and maybe a little drier than we're normal. So hopefully that'll turn out that way. We won't have to be shoveling too much snow. But in our health, we didn't have too much in sports going on, so we're going to skip right to the health and fitness. And in health and fitness, how to stay healthy during the winter months, winter driving tips to help keep us all safe. So tip number one, and it should be pretty obvious, but some people need to hear it. Never warm up a car in a closed environment, such as a garage door. Of course, with carbon monoxide, that's really harmful. So don't do it. Make sure you're outside or keep that garage door open. Properly inflate your tires. It's that time of the year, as you can tell. As it gets colder, a lot of our air molecules are going to shrink, and we're going to have our low pressure lights on our cars. So put some air in those tires, get them properly inflated. Don't mix your tire types. Don't mix radial, non-radial tires. So make sure all four of your tires are properly inflated and have the same type for the winter driving. Avoid using a parking brake when it's cold outside, when it's rainy, or it may freeze, because that parking brake may freeze in place. You may not be able to go anywhere. And heat it up and melt that ice off of it. Don't use the cruise control when it's slippery outside. As you know, just use your manual gas acceleration so you can feel if your wheels start to accelerate, spin up, because you don't want to hit a dry patch and then slide, get into a skid and cause an accident. If you're sliding, make sure you look and steer where you want to go, because we got to think back, because it's been about more than 30 years since I took driver's ed, so I have to keep thinking about these things. So plan ahead when it's cold and snow outside, and give yourself plenty of time, because everything's going to take more time in the winter. Don't stop when you're going uphill if it's slippery. Don't do it. Try to get some momentum going up to the hill, and don't really gun it going up, because then you may get some slippage of the tire. So give yourself some momentum going up a hill, and going downhill. Make sure you slow down and keep it steady. If you don't have to go somewhere when it's really cold outside, don't go. Keep your gas tanks at least half full, so that'll avoid your gas line freezing. And most of all, go slow. Keep in mind, nothing happens fast on slick surfaces that you don't want to happen fast. And with that, those driving tips for the winter, back to you, Alinco.
Oh, my brother, thank you so much once again for helping us understand, at least catch a glimpse of what's going to happen with regards to weather and what was that, health. In the health segment, you give us something regarding what we should be looking out for in terms of taking care of our cars and when you slide. So that's very important. But another important thing is that folks in the airline industry, the aviation industry, would like to know what the update is with regards to the borders now open. Are people flying back and forth? How is it looking like for your industry, especially your United?
Well, looking at the numbers, nothing is pretty much the same as all. A year ago this time, there were 2.2 million travelers going through TSA. Today yesterday, the numbers from yesterday, 780,000. So we're still looking at between 30 to 40%. So,
okay. All right. Thank you, my brother. As always, you give us the goodies, my man. We shall be seeing you next week. Stay warm, bro. All right, man. Okay. So he's left. And it's left us with just the three of us, and we're going to be having fun. It's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about our country, Ghana, straight to the point. Daniel AMPONSAH is the MPP communicator for the U.S. branch, the MPP U.S. branch. He's a communicator for that organization. And we have ASONABA, who is also the chapter, Chicago chapter organizing chapter for Chicago NDC, the organizing representative for Chicago NDC. Now, ASONABA, if I didn't say the title in the right sequence, please, go ahead. You're good. Okay, yeah. My brother is all cool with it. This is the Progressive Mind Show. We are going to be going straight into it. You are here. It is 9 minutes past 6 p.m. Today is December 2nd, 2020. My name is Alinko, and you are tuning live to the Progressive Mind Show. This is where we build our community by engaging you and I. So as we engage you, please engage your friends and your community so we can have a very wonderful talk here. In the meantime, we'll go for this short break. When we come back, the show continues. Stay tuned. All right, Daniel AMPONSAH, I think we have a little glitch with ASONABA, but we might get him. So Daniel AMPONSAH is the NPP USA communication member. Okay, yeah, he's a communication member of the US NPP chapter. Daniel, this is the first time, of course, and so you're welcome to the platform. Anything else you would like our listeners to know about who Daniel AMPONSAH is?
Yeah, Alinko, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, I need you to. Yeah, there you go. So we can feel you.
All right. Thank you so much for, having me on the show. I hope today we're going to have, like you said, it's a progressive mind show. So whatever we're going to be discussing is going to be progressive.
Right.
And then I hope that our viewers and listeners out there will get a lot out of what we're going to discuss. And in a very respectful way, we're going to be speaking the facts. We're not going to be aligning anybody, but we're going to speak to the issues that bother on our country and the progress of our country.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of my background. I grew up a lot in Ghana. I finished college in Ghana, and then my background was economics and political science.
Okay.
And then I continued. Yes, I continued. My major was economics anyway. I continued here to do economics at master's level, and then an MBA finance. So also an expert in economics and finance, and I know a bit more about our political economy, and so that gives me the opportunity to be able to share that knowledge with our viewers and listeners. Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome. My brother, let's see if everything is all cool with ASONABA. Looks like we're having a little bit of a glitch. ASONABA, can you hear us? Okay. We will try and get to him, but give us, before we got on the show, we're just talking backhand. The seemingly resemblance of the two major political parties in America and that of Ghana.
All right.
There are a couple of them in Ghana, but there are two major ones: the NPP, which is National Patriotic Party, and NDC, National Democratic Party, National Democratic Congress.
The new Patriotic Party. The national
new Patriotic Party. Yes, new Patriotic Party, and then the National Democratic Congress. So, and it looks as though the NPP, the National Patriotic Party, have some similarity to the Republican Party here. Can you explain, or maybe can you help educate our audience what the situation is with that?
All right, thank you for that opportunity. Yeah, Ghana has a bit of, a checkered history. We've had what we've called the First Republic, the Second Republic, the Third Republic, and the Fourth Republic. Essentially, for those listening to me, what that means in political language is that we've had one politically elected democratic government overthrown. Another one comes in, he was overthrown. So whenever we have an elected democratic leader, it's called a republic.
Okay.
So we've had the first one, he was overthrown, Kwame Nkrumah. We've had the second one, we've had the third one, and then we've had the fourth one. So we are what we call the Fourth Republic. The Fourth Republic was led by one military leader who eventually became, a democratically elected leader called Flight Lieutenant Jerry John Rawlings. Unfortunately, he passed away about 2 weeks ago. And so we are still in a mourning state. We are waiting to bury him, but this is all happening around the same time that we're having the election coming up. Exactly. So we are in the Fourth Republic, and in the Fourth Republic, it started from 1992, thereabout, and we've sustained that democracy up to this point in time. So from 1992 to 2020, you see the span period that we are talking about here. That has been the Fourth Republic. It's been the most stable republic. It's been the longest republic that we've had, and we are sustaining that democracy and the system that we've adopted for ourselves. And so, I'll just give the history from 1992 up to date. When you look at 1992, Rawlings that I spoke of, he was a military leader in 1981, ruled for about 11 years as a military leader, and then transformed himself into a democratically elected, government in 1992. So he was the first president of the Fourth Republic. Then he did his 8-year term. And remember, in 1992, in the USA, you had your own, or what do you call it, Clinton, right?
Yeah.
Who was also the president. So in Ghana, the National Democratic Congress pride themselves as social democrats. So in that sense,
I wouldn't want you to take that privilege from the NDC guy. So I want you to establish the relationship between NPP of Ghana and then the Republican Party of America. Just help us briefly establish that relationship, if there is.
Right. So in Ghana, we, the MPP, we call ourselves the, party that believes in capitalism, property owning democracy. We believe in more market-oriented policies, whilst also ensuring that there's social safety network to, bring those that will be left behind as we progress. So in that sense, we are the Republicans of Ghana.
Okay.
But, in the context of an African politics, when you say a party is capitalist-oriented, it is not the extreme capitalist-oriented that you probably have in the United States. But in that sense, we are the same. And each time the Republicans have been in power, we've also been in power. And that has been generally the history that we've had. Right?
Since 1992, right?
Since 1992, right.
Excellent. Okay. So it looks like we have ASONABA. Can we see you? Yeah. Good. Okay, great. Okay, thank you so much, ASONABA. I think we had a little issue, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, I'm using the phone and it's kind of bothering me a little bit. But it's okay now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, so Daniel just helped us establish the relationship between, or maybe the ideology that seemingly exists between NPP of Ghana and the Republican Party of the United States. Can you, is there anything like that with the NDC of Ghana and the Democrat Party in America?
In America. Well, let me say good evening to your listeners and viewers.
Thank you.
And also thank for giving us the opportunity to talk about political history a little bit this evening. And we all know we are going to the polls on the 7th of.
Yes, we are going to come to that. Yes.
Anyway, so, concerning that issue, and I've heard a lot of people talking about it, the trend or the relationship between NDC and Democrats in America and NPP and the Republicans in America. You see, it started when Jerry John Lawrence, through our former ambassador to the United States, Ekospe Gabra, was able to bring Bill Clinton to Ghana. I think it was 1995 when Jerry was president, and Clinton was president from 1993 to I think 2001, and around the same time Jerry was also president. And I don't know whether it's a coincidence that it happens that we have that kind of even years with them, in that pattern. But it happened like that, and
so that do you think that ideology-wise, policy-wise, philosophy-wise?
No, I don't agree because our philosophy and our ideologies are
different,
completely different.
So
I don't want to say. Let me put this on record. I don't want to say certain things Democrats believe in, and we, the NDC, we don't believe in certain things they believe in.
I got you.
But socially, yes, we are social democrats, and I know Democrats are also, somehow they are social Democrats. But there are certain things they advocate for we will not do in Ghana. You understand? So you have to get that straight, because I know this, my brother sitting over there, we will get to a point, he will use that against us if I ever try to go on that, because there are certain things when we get to that part, it's opposite.
Yes,
on that aspect, it's very
I also know that about the party.
So let me go back to that trend. So Jerry was able to bring Clinton to Ghana. Kufuor came in 2001. Bush also came in 2001, and for some reason, Kufuor was also able to bring George Bush to Ghana at the time.
Okay.
You see, so it's like, we have that kind of friendship between us and all these things. 2009 to 2017, Obama was here as a Democrat elect president. Mills was there. Mills/Mama administration was also there for the entire 8 years, while Barack Obama from Democrat also. So it's like, some kind of, hey, we don't know where he came from, but it's like that. No, I don't think it's
anything
specific or something to go by that, or because we share the same ideology, or because we have the same beliefs. That is why anytime Democrat is in power, or anytime NDC is in power in Ghana, Democrats are also in power over here, or when the opposite way. I personally don't believe that, and I heard a lot of people talking about it, but I personally don't really agree that we have that kind of.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe some years.
But this time around, let me put this on the record. This time around, like some of our people were saying in 2016, we lost the election in 2016. And, they were jubilating because NPP won and Republicans won over here in 2016. So if you want to go with that kind of,
trajectory. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to arrive at the point at that.
ASONABA, I wanted us to establish a relationship, right? If there is any, right? I wanted you as communicators.
Oh, personally, I don't think on political basis, I don't think there's anything between Republicans and NPP. On a national level, yes, we have that relationship with America. But
okay, I hear you, ASONABA.
I don't think that we have anything to do with it.
Yes. Okay. So please, because of time, I want us to try to be as concise as possible. This evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be talking about Ghana politics. And so if you have an idea or know something, this is a forum where we engage each other. Okay. And so please feel free to ask questions, share your ideas. And I also asking you to share the feed on Facebook and on YouTube. You can go on the progressivemindshow.com and support what we're doing by donating to us. Now that we have tried to go over whether there's some similarities or whatever, or whether there's coincidence when it comes to American politics and America and Ghana politics, we also know that when Kwame Nkrumah was being inaugurated or being sworn in on the 6th March of 1957. Dr. Martin Luther King, he invited Dr. Martin Luther King. He was actually there. In actual fact, one of the people that inspired Dr. Martin Luther King is Kwame Nkrumah. The two of them had a good relationship, and so who knows the bond that was established at that time. Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, Martin Luther King, when it comes to Africans, African Americans. Some that's along the line for us working together politically, socially, economically, whatever. But it's just something interesting to know that we have a good relationship. Who is John Mahama, ASONABA? What is his type of leadership? Briefly, what is this? If someone doesn't know John Mahama, what would you tell them in terms of his leadership skills? Can you briefly describe the type of leadership skills that John Mahama has? as a person?
Yes. You know, let me start by saying a very visionary leader in the first place. You know, he became a vice president.
We can't see your mouth because you're covering it.
Sorry. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I was saying that, you know, to describe John Mahama as a politician and a president, first thing anybody to, you know, let a person know about John Mahama is a very visionary leader in terms of politics, in terms of being a president. Was a very visionary. All the records over there, you know, the records speaks for him. He was a president who, you know, is a very humble man in nature. And he actually, throughout his presidency, we saw that. And he put that into his day-to-day activity running the country. So I didn't hear you.
No. I said, no, I was just agreeing to what you're saying. You mean he put it in the country? Yes.
Yeah. So, you know, you saw that this man everywhere he will go, whether outside or around the country, he's, you know, welcome everywhere. And personally, everybody is also welcomed by him. So he's the type of person, you know, you can use so many words to describe him.
So you would say, so you're basically saying he's a transformational leader.
Yes, if you look at in terms of leadership skills and all those things, he transformed the country a lot, and so you have a lot to say about him, about his leadership skills.
You think he's more of a socialist or conservative leader, or I mean, social? Hold on. You think it's more of a socialist or capitalist or both?
You see, NDC is not a capitalist.
No, I'm talking about the person,
the president. So I'm coming over there. I'm coming over there because we're talking about his political affiliation. No. What he believes in. No, wait. I'm coming. If you're saying he's capitalist.
No, I'm asking what style.
No. No, that's what I'm saying. No, you can't say Mama is a capitalist. I don't think. And maybe my understanding is different from maybe where you are coming from, but I wouldn't say he's a capitalist. Okay. Mama is Mama in nature is a very a social person. So if that's what you want to put it, he's very social person.
He's more of a democratic.
Yes. Okay. So you wouldn't say like. You know, like the way we are seeing in Ghana now. Okay, I wouldn't put Mama in that category.
In a nutshell, for all those who don't know, John Mahama, the ex-president who is now running as the opposition leader, the major opposition leader in Ghana now against the incumbent president who is Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. He is, per their communication, you know, representative here, he's more of a transformational visionary leader and also a democratic leader. Now, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, the current president, Daniel, what is his leadership style?
Yeah, Nana Akufo-Addo, I would say he's been one of the most consistent political figures we've had in our country in terms of his principle and what he stands for and what he believes in. It's very he's a human rights lawyer to begin with, and so he believes very well in the individual person as having the potential to be able to do good for himself and to do good for his country. And so when you look at all his life, he's been fighting for that self-dignity of the individual person in hope that that individual person can unleash his potentials. And so that sits well with his human rights records. And then he's very passionate about the development of Ghana. Akufo-Addo is one person, even though he was born somehow in a rich family, he hates poverty because his grandfather once was very poor before his father could go to school. So he has that background of a poor family that has raised him to be rich, and therefore he hates poverty, I mean, to the core. So in that sense, you can say Akufo-Addo is a very progressive-minded person, passionate about the country Ghana, and believes that Ghana can transform within, I mean, our generation. And that is the path that he set himself up for. And thankfully, he's the president leading that path. And so as we speak more about him, you come to see that everything that he's been pursuing in his administration, it's all centered on the human development and the human, person being able to unleash his potential for the transformation of our country.
So would you also see him as a typical democratic leadership style type of person?
Yes. I mean, he's a human rights lawyer. He believes in, the rule of law, and he believes that it's not always the case that the rule of law would go the way you want, but you might disagree, but you have to respect it. Good. Because that is how societies are organized, and that is what will, bring progress to our country.
Excellent. For again, to the benefits of those again who don't know him, we as Ghanaians know that he has a very long political history. He comes from a very huge political background. Help us establish some of the, I'll say, leaders of Ghana from which Leonardo comes from. The political lineage that he's come from. Can you help us just?
Yeah. Akufo-Addo, his father, it's called, his uncles, his relative has been very much, involved with the MPP history. The MPP, prior to being the New Patriotic Party, was called the United Party. Okay. That was prior to being called the MPP. And if you look at the big six of Ghana, Akufo-Addo's uncle, J.B. Dankwa, Ofuriatta, all those people that comes from his family or his clan play a key role in our independence liberation. Okay. And they were the People's Party, the UP or the United Party that invited Nkrumah over to Ghana, and then Nkrumah eventually led our independence struggle. So Akufo-Addo really comes from a family. His father was once the Chief Justice of Ghana, and became a ceremonial president. So he lived in that setting. He could see the politics of Ghana brewing in his family, house. And he could see all the, nooks and crannies of what politics is like and what it must take to transform a country like Ghana. So that has led him on, and up to this point, he's always guided by the passion that his forebearers had in terms of our country's development. And I think that he's holding the flag high in their memory. And that is what I can say about Akufo-Addo.
Before we go into the manifesto, both manifestos of the manifestos of both parties, there are, in the NDC manifesto, are about 51 items. We can digress everything. Okay, I think the NPP manifesto has about somewhat the same amount, 60 items, if I'm not mistaken, but I can check it and be very sure. So what we will do is probably take maybe the top 5 of both candidates, of both party, and you all can touch on that for us. It's 6:32 p.m. here in the studios of Progressive Minds, and you are listening to ASONABA, who is representing the NDC of Ghana, but the Chicago chapter. He's a Chicago chapter organizer, but he's standing in as a spokesperson for the NDC, National Democratic Party, National Democratic Congress in Ghana. And then the NPP is the New Patriotic Party, represented by Daniel AMPONSAH, who is a communication member of the USA chapter. So having tried to understand this, ASONABA, let me give you the opportunity. John Mahama is also known to have come from a political family, right? Can you help us establish that?
His father was, I think his father was the first commissioner to Northern Region at the time when Nkrumah was president. Okay. And he also served in, I think, Liman's administration. Okay. So politically, yes, Mahama has a background in politics before he himself joined the politics in Ghana. So
he also served with Rawlings, right? He served under the Rawlings regime. One of the.
I'm not talking about Mahama himself. I'm just coming to Mahama. I'm talking about his father.
Oh, okay.
His father, Adama Mahama, was first commissioner to Northern Region. Remember, in the olden days, they called them commissioners. Until recently, I think it was Rawlings' time that he changed and started calling them ministers. And he served in the Nkrumah's administration, and I think he was the first commissioner to the. He left, and Bawumia's father became the next commissioner. But Mahama's father, after EKUMAH, he also served in Lehman's administration, for that matter. So he has a political background. Let's talk about John Mahama himself. Yes, Mahama has been in politics for a while. I think since 1995, he became a member of parliament for Ballot. You know what? That's where he came from. So he became a MP for them, and through that, he was appointed the deputy Minister of Communication under Jerry John Rawlings, and he became a minister, a communications minister, at the same time under Jerry John Rawlings. So, you know.
Okay, thank you so much
for
well, now let's talk about progress, economic development of both parties. Let's try to be, again, we are going to the elections. Why should people be looking out for it, and who should people be looking to vote for? And so let's look at first of all, do you believe that there should have been a presidential debate this year? ASONABA, do you believe that we should have had a presidential debate?
Of course, I do. I do believe that.
Okay.
Because, you know, it gives you the opportunity to tell the people what you can do, what you are bringing on the table.
Okay.
And in our case, we are so lucky that we have John Mahama, who ruled the country for 4 years.
Okay.
He's coming back. We have a sitting president, Nana Akufo-Addo. He has 4 years now.
Okay.
So it would have been a great opportunity for these two personalities, these two presidential candidates, to sit around the table and tell Ghanaians why we should give them
another 4 years
chance,
a second chance,
opportunity to lead us.
Okay.
But Nana Akufo-Addo refused.
Okay. So in your opinion, hold on. You believe that there should have been let me go to Daniel. Daniel, do you believe that we should have had, or there should be a national presidential debate?
Yeah, a debate any day is welcome, right? But there's a context to all what we're discussing here. Anything that we discuss have to be put in context. Otherwise, people lose sight of what the issues around this debate is.
Okay.
I believe a debate is a healthy development. We need that as a developing country. And the NPP, any day, anytime, we are ready for a debate. But the reason why this debate hasn't happened, for my, personal reading of what has happened in Ghana, is that when John Mahama was president, he refused to take a debate with the opposition leader then, which is Akufo-Addo.
Okay. And
these debates usually are not called by even the candidate themselves. It is organized by an independent body. And this independent bodies, do their own background, talks with the presidential candidate and then work out some, arrangement with them. And then when the time is up, they announce it. But it appears this particular year, John Mahama was the one calling for the debate. This was the same man who refused the debate 4 years ago when he was the president.
Okay.
So Akufo-Addo too said, well, you are calling for a debate. No independent body, as far as I know, has called for a debate. It was John Mahama who called for it. But the NPP has not responded, in a way that, John Mahama did not respond when he was president. And so that is a bit of a history to that. But a debate any day is a welcoming development.
Okay.
Alinko,
yeah.
Please, hold on. Let's set the record straight. Because I believe a lot of people are listening to you.
Yes.
John Mahama never refused to debate in Akufo-Addo in 2016. And he never refused to go for the IEA debate. What happened was, we have issue with Jane Mensa, the current EC right now. So we make a request. And they refuse to do that. And that is why John Mahama, the president at the time, refused to go to the IEA debate. And mind you, after he refused to go to the IEA debate, GBC organized the debate. And John Mahama went. Nana Akufo-Addo refused to go to that debate. Okay. What he did was, the debate I think was on Wednesday. The following Friday, he went to sit at PCFM and had his own debate with Kwame Sefakan. That is when he said, "Yetisikasu, a comedy, a MEMEBER." But you remember those things he said. That was the time. So John Mahama, Daniel, maybe you are forgetting something.
Mahama never refused to go to the debate. We make a request because of Jane Mensah, and they refused.
At the time, what position was Jane Mensah?
Jane Mensah was a member of the IEA debate
committee or commission. Okay.
And actually, he was going to be one of the people asking the questions at the time.
Moderator.
Remember, in 2012, it was, I think, Kojo Nkrumah and
the flag bearer, the running mate for John Mahama.
John Mahama. Jane. Nana Jane. You see?
Okay.
So, but on 2016, there was a problem. Okay. And that is why John Mahama refused to go to that year debate. So we did not be like because of Nana Akufo-Addo. No. And this time around, it's not John Mahama who started calling for the debate. It's Nana Akufo-Addo. So Daniel, remember that he said that in Cape Coast. And John Mahama said, okay, I have accepted it. Let's come to the table. That is when Nana Akufo-Addo started backing up. It's not from John Mahama.
All right. I don't know if
it would have been good opportunity for him to come on the table to tell people how much he has used the money he has borrowed for, so that Ghanaians will understand him very, very, very well. They will have understand him better.
Okay.
They will have a better understanding from the Nana Akufo-Addo himself than the communicators.
Okay.
Because he'll be able to explain the $150-something billion, what he has used for, so that Ghanaians can, assess it, and based on that, they can give him a second.
I think I'm a numbers person. When you're mentioning figures, you've got to cross-check the 150 billion. I don't think that is correct. $1 billion, that is obviously not
correct. Almost $150 billion he has borrowed.
No, $150 billion. You know what that means?
No, I didn't say. Sorry, cedis. I'm not saying dollars.
Okay, right.
We don't use dollars in Ghana. I'm quoting in cedis.
Okay.
And you agree that he has borrowed even more than that. It's just that you people are not telling us the entire amount.
So we know that there should have been a debate. One party wants it, the other party is now willing to do it. We are here. It's going to be what, 5? We are 5 days left, probably less than 5 days to the elections. What is the political climate like, gentlemen? Is Ghana still that beacon of democracy that other countries in West Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa look up to? Is it that, do we still have that stable civil climate that people can be confident in and not have any apprehension to because elections is coming? Daniel, let me give you the chance to respond.
Yeah, I think that, generally speaking, even though we are competing against our, opponent, the NDC, but I would say that, the NDC have behaved relatively, well in terms of democratic, our democratic development, even in terms of our transition, with power. Remember, they were in power, the military leader that I spoke about, the late Jerry John Rawlings, was the military leader before he became the democratically elected leader. So he gave power peacefully in 2000 when he was leaving the scene anyway, and his predecessor, I think in this case, Atamels, who stood in his stead. When he lost, he handed over to the opponent, in this case the MPP, which was former President John Ajay Kufuor. And since then, we've had peaceful transition. The NDC, Kufuor came, also did his 8 years and left. And when Akufo-Addo was taken over, he lost to, Atamels, and there was a peaceful transfer from one party to the other again. And then in 2016, we've had the same transition again from, the NDC led by John Mahama to Akufo-Addo. So our democratic journey has been one of peaceful transitions. And we've come to understand that that is the way to go. And the system has been very, self-sustaining in terms of, making sure that people are accountable to know that, hey, when the people speak and they vote and the elections are conducted, it's free and fair, and the people have spoken. You can disagree with the results, but that is the mind of the people. You've got to agree and hand over. And that is exactly what we expect to happen in 2020. Whoever wins the election, the Ghanaian people will expect that there will be peaceful transition. And I believe that the MPP is on course to win anyway.
Okay, so you were saying that as we speak, the political climate in Ghana is very peaceful, is calm. People can be assured of that.
Yes, I can assure people that we've had it for some number of times. This is not the time we're going to break it. We know what is at stake. And
I just wanted you as a mouthpiece of the party to, read.
We are in safe hands. The security of the country is in safe hands, and people should be assured.
Okay.
Happen.
ASONABA, what do you think is the situation in terms of political climate in Ghana as we speak?
Yeah, you see, it's not just about the transition. The transition of power from one party to political party is not a big deal when it comes to those things. But going to the election is the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's where we have the problem. I saw this video yesterday. Was it yesterday or 3 days ago? Where military, police, prison officers, immigration, custom officers, national security, riding in armor cars with guns and all these things. Some of them are sitting on the fire trucks.
Okay.
Around the country. This is the place you have a fire and you will call the fire service. They will never show up. Election is coming. Then, instead of them to use those trucks to do the job of which we acquired those machines for them, they are sitting on it, running around the country, and it's very worrying. I'm not saying the situation is bad, because Ghana, like you said, we have been the beacon of democracy in Africa for a while. Even before this coup started and all those things, our history. Nkrumah led the independence and all those things. So Africa, in terms of political this thing in Africa, Ghana, you can't take us out of those things. We are very powerful. We have been practicing the democracy. I think this is our 8th election, if I'm not mistaken. Is it 8 or I think it's 8th election we are going on this coming Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But what is worrying right now is when the government in power, you go with Nana Akufo-Addo's record.
Mm-hmm.
Before he became a president, he has never conceded to any defeat. Even in his own political party, NPP, he contested against before on a flag bearership. He lost. He never agreed to the result. On 2020, I'm coming, Daniel. I was very quiet when you were, even though I disagree with some of the things you said, but I was very quiet. You see, if you look at 2008 elections, he lost, but he never conceded when he has lost the election. On 2012, he did the same thing. He took us to court for almost 8 months or 9 months. Even after the Supreme Court ruling, he refused to accept the defeat. All what he said was he agreed with the decision of the Supreme Court, but he doesn't agree with the outcome of the results. You see, so these 2-3 things put us on a position that we have to be very careful on 2020 elections.
Okay.
He even refused to go for the inauguration of John Mahama. He did the same thing on Atama's time. You understand? Okay. So this time around, I'm not saying, oh, no, this is something that we should, all just brush it aside or something. But we have to be very careful with Nana Akufo-Addo going for 2020 election. Okay. Do you think, Daniel, do you think that if the Nana Akufo-Addo is John Mahama is declared a winner for this election, is Nana Akufo-Addo going to accept it? Do you think he will concede?
Well, I don't know if Daniel has any response to anything.
I have a response to it. I mean, obviously, Alinko, for the information of your viewers and listeners, in our democratic history, Akufo-Addo lost by 40,000 votes and accepted defeat. But this was when he had led in the first round to Atama's in 2008. This is a man that lost an election by 40,000 when his own government was in power. So we are talking about a man here that believes that if the process that leads to an election or an outcome, it's, transparent, it's fair, and the outcome dictates as it is, he's prepared to hand over power. Akufo-Addo, for me, on the unlikely event that he loses this election, why not? I mean, he will hand over power. I mean, Ghana does not belong to Akufo-Addo and doesn't belong to John Mahama. Whoever loses power, I mean, or loses this election has no option. The rules are there. The rules of engagement are very clear. And so I'll tell ASONABA to, I mean, feel very comforted that if indeed he believes his candidate is going to win, and in the unlikely event that happens, I mean, he should be rest assured that Akufo-Addo will hand over power. But I know that it's not going to happen.
100% sure that John Mahama will win the elections.
Because I know he's not going to win. That's my belief. But
no, John Mahama will win the elections.
We'll see.
John Mahama will win the elections. I mean, it's written everywhere. That's why people are afraid. You see, that's the reason why you are parading the street of Accra with military and police and all these things. Ghana is not at war. And this is not the first time we are going for the election.
I can comment on that part of the security.
See, let me finish. We are not at war. Ghana is not at war. We are just going for elections.
Definitely.
We had the records already. It's there. From Jerry's time, Kufuor, Atama, John Mahama. This will never happen.
But Aliko, that's
not where we have.
That's what I'm saying, that if we are discussing this and you don't put context to it, then we take everything out of, I mean.
Give us the context.
So the context here is that, Alinko, the countries that surround us, right, have had some issues about, I mean, terrorism, and we've been at the center of these countries and we've avoided it.
Before you come in with your terrorism.
Aside that, there was some, what I call insurrection in the Volta region, where some people decided that they were going to be, separating themselves from Ghana, and they had to block roads leading to the, Volta region, which is, the stronghold of our opponents. And so there've been some heightened security concerns that requires that the security show a certain, sense of preparedness to let everyone know that, hey, even though we are in a lockdown situation, we're in a COVID period, this is not the time for anybody to take advantage and, create any, unstable situation for our country. Okay. So security are not there to threaten anybody or to put fear in anybody. And who says that if the security person sees somebody on the street, you'll be able to identify that you're MPP or you're NDC? They are just doing their job as security men. They don't know who is NDC.
So
you had a police and national security people telling people that if you miss people, that they will beat them on the election days. And you are here telling me that they are not on the street.
If that happens, that is unprofessional.
People, you have a national security guard, the so-called national security guy, beating up a W in front of people in the blood daylight. All these things are going on in the country. And you are here telling us that it's because of the separatists. Okay. What are they now? The people you arrested. Is that the reason why you put all these people on the street?
Yeah.
You arrested all the separatists from there. What is going to happen at the bottom?
You don't know the kind of intelligence that the president receives each day, and the briefing that is there. So
see, responsibility. Let's be honest. Let's be honest and tell. Let's be honest and tell.
Because of time,
this election is not about intimidation.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that the one party, the National Democratic Party, the National Democratic Congress of Ghana or in Ghana is accusing, or at least is alerting the country of what is currently going on, which is a lot of military presence, what seemed like military parade on the streets, and most of the nation.
Like it is.
Yeah, okay,
there's a military parade going on in the country.
Actually, okay, there's a military parade of all the national security agencies going on in the press, because I have seen the videos too. So yes, it is. And so people are calling out, people are saying, why do we have this going on at this moment? Daniel's point is that, well, due to the intelligence that the president is probably receiving. No, I'm coming. What he's saying is that due to threats or some certain unrest in neighboring countries around Ghana, the president of Ghana, or the government, the current government, thinks that we as a country, Ghana, our democracy is probably threatened or could be threatened based on what is going on in other countries near us. So we have to heighten our security and beef up our security to show everyone that we are ready, just in case there is an external intrusion in our democratic process. Is that what Daniel is trying to establish here?
Yes, and I'm saying internally, we've had this insurgence of some group that said they want a separatist state from Ghana. And then on top of that, prior to that happening, the NDC chairman, Ofosu Ampofo, is being recorded on tape making some statement that threatens our democracy. And he's in court as I speak to you.
Okay.
So the president's security is not leaving the security to chance. He's telling everybody that the security is ready. If anybody misbehaves, the condition is if anybody misbehaves, you will have the security to deal with. If you're not going to misbehave, why should we be afraid of any security people out there?
Okay.
The president doesn't have anything to hide. He doesn't have anything to be afraid of. Why is he pulling the military and the soldiers and all those, the military and the police and all these people on the street to intimidate people?
ASONABA, do you
this
think
thing started from the beginning of the registration? So don't sit down and pretend like, oh, you don't know what is happening and everything is okay because the president has some information that there's people. Who are those people?
ASONABA,
where are they coming from?
ASONABA, which registration are we talking about?
I'm talking about from the beginning of the new voters registration.
Okay.
So when how they send soldiers and police and all those people to voter region and some parts of the country that they believe the stronghold of NDC to go intimidate people, and this is the continuation of it. Yeah, so Daniel, why do you sit down and say like you don't know anything about it?
Daniel, it has come to. I mean, we've all seen some of the videos, right? I think we have a call on the line. Wait a second. Hold on 1 second. I think we have a call on the line. We will try and get callers. We haven't opened the phone lines yet, but let's try and take this one quickly. We'll come to the topic. Please tell us your name and why you're calling.
Yeah, my name is Isaac, and I'm calling from Durham, New Hampshire.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I know Daniel back in the Crawford Hall in Lagos, University of Ghana.
Right. Farmer.
Yeah, so what I want to put to Daniel is that Daniel, you're saying that the securities are really working in terms of trying to put the insurgency and other things. Why are they not in the borders, but rather within the cities, the big cities?
Exactly.
Okay, let him answer the question. Yes.
They're supposed to be at the borders where when the people are coming, they'll be able to get in. But they're in the cities disturbing people, going to people's houses, beating them, and all sort of things. So I think one key thing is that, we're in the lesson here. So people might try to do things in the way they want to get things to be done. But like, you don't need to try to put people in your opposition stronghold, trying to get to suppress their vote. I'm trying to listen to what Katie Hammond said about the voters, that all the people in the voter region who registered were all not voters. They are not Ghanaians, but they are rather Togolese.
Yeah, Togolese.
So it's good for you to come out clear. Let's try to make Ghana where it's supposed to be.
Right.
Irrespective of our political living.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, brother. I think free and fair. Daniel, you want to respond to that quickly?
Yeah, I think thanks, my brother. I think I was in the Kofo, I was in Lagos, so you probably are right on that. But my brother, get assured that the security of our country is not going to be left to chance. And I can assure you that the security is not out there to intimidate anybody who is going to be voting. That is not the essence of what they're doing. The essence of what they're doing is just to show their preparedness, that they are prepared to safeguard our country, our democracy, and the territorial integrity of Ghana. Like you said, some people are already on the borders. Our borders are closed, for your attention, Alinko. Because of the COVID, all our borders, land borders are closed. Okay. Even with the air, there's some restriction on how you can come in, because so there's other security arrangement going on. And then the political risk of this election adds on top of the risk that we are trying to contain in the country already. So it is not only about election. There are some other concerns out there that the security needs to deal with. Okay. And so don't limit it to just an election. I mean, that it's going to be an event, after the election, we still have to safeguard our territory and our borders.
Well, I guess this is a matter for Ghana. And so people are interested. So again,
Daniel, if we are talking about
flexible, we have a caller. Let's try and take this caller, and then I'll have ASONABA respond. Caller, please tell us your name. Now, the other caller hanged up. I'm sorry I couldn't get your name. The first caller. Thank you so much for calling.
Wait, go ahead.
Yes. Caller. Hello.
Salted fish.
Hello.
Chicken fried rice.
Hello, caller. Can you hear us?
Fried rice.
Hello. Okay, so looks like we kind of lost the caller, but so what is ASONABA respond to that quickly? Because what I also saw, okay, which I want to add to what the caller said, well, I saw literally people, and I heard that in the Volta region, the military people go there, they'll bump into people's homes and ask if you're Ewe. No, they'll ask you a thing in French, right? They probably ask you, comment ça va? And if you respond in French, you assume it's a police and then they harass you. Is there any truth to this?
Oh yes, you see, we saw it in we saw it during the registration time.
Okay, caller, please hold on for a second. ASONABA, go ahead with your submission. ASONABA, go ahead.
We saw that during the registration exercise for this 2020 election, which actually some of us disagree that if you look at the time frame, I think that exercise was very, very unnecessary. We didn't have to go through that and spend a lot of money for that registration exercise. Okay. But put that aside. You have a president and a political party that all these years they think Voltarians are not Ghanaians, to the point that some of their my brother, that's something now.
Let him
quiet.
Let him
finish.
Yeah, and then you can have your response. Somebody's asking for evidence. I'll go. We'll read some of the Facebook comments, but ASONABA, I think that you have a very excellent point to make, because when people call in, it's money. So let's see if we can get a caller off the line, and then you can continue with the submission. Caller, tell us your name, sir, and why you're calling. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yes, can you please lower your device that you're listening to us on and tell us your name and why?
If you are not open yet to take calls, right, I can call back later.
Oh yes, yes, that'll be great. You can call us at 7:30, at 7:20. We'll open the phone lines because we have a few things.
7:20.
Yes.
Sure. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. ASONABA, please go ahead with your point.
You have a political party that about 90% of people in the MPP, they believe that Voltarians are not Ghanaians. To the point that you have a sitting member of parliament, Katie Hammond, like my brother said, telling Voltarians that they are not Ghanaians, point blank. So I don't know what Daniel is trying to defend over here.
Okay.
And it's exactly the reason why, Aliko, hold on. It's exactly the reason why during the registration exercise, Nana Akufo-Addo and his administration send military, police, national security, and all those people to Volta region to just go intimidate people so that they can, they can come out and register to vote. And I don't think it's good to come and defend these things over here. You're talking about COVID-19, so we have to protect our borders. Really? You're protecting your borders. Where? Then we have to, one thing we have to do, if really we want to protect our borders because of COVID-19, we have to stop both air and land ports from people coming all over. We have to stop all of them from entering the country, because we can't pick and choose that because here is for our opponent, we have to do something to suppress them. No, I don't think that is right. Daniel, I don't think that is right. Imagine NDC is doing this on where we think that MPP will get a vote, MPP stronghold, where we think people voted for. Look, let me tell you something that about 2-3 weeks ago, Nana Akufo-Addo said. Do you remember when he went to Pong Katamanso? Is it Pong Katamanso's Pong area over there? Then people were, having problem about coming to his gathering. Do you remember the answer he gave to the chief when he get the opportunity? That people are saying he has done nothing for them, but they don't vote for him, and they did not vote for MPP in 2016. So he doesn't know why they are actually crying over development, or he doesn't know why people are saying that he has done nothing for them. Really, as a president? You see, so this is the reason why we are telling you that you can't do that. You are putting the military and the police on all these security services on the street to intimidate people. And Alinko, as we are speaking, do you know that we still have military, police, national security in the Volta region roaming about every day?
Wow. Yeah, I heard about that. Daniel, do you think that the national security, Ghana's national security is...
Hold on, let me finish one thing over here. Maybe he can give a response to that.
Quickly, please, because of
Daniel,
time.
do you really know how the national security operates?
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think he's a communicator, and I don't know if he'll be in the position to answer that. But Daniel, if you are free to answer, if you want to.
Okay, Alinko, thank you. I just wanted to wait my turn to respond to these issues. Alinko, like I told you, the COVID period that came, we had all our borders closed. It's been recently that we even had the airport, open with even restriction. The land borders are still closed as I speak to you. Now. And so they said they always limit it to the voter region because it is the agenda of the NDC to stop ethnic, animosity for the MPP. And so anytime they've had the least opportunity, they interpret any government, effort to secure our borders as efforts to intimidate a certain group of people or a certain ethnic group, which is very unfortunate. The security were just not in the voter region. They were up north too, in the upper, we have another border called Paga, which is in the upper east region. In the western part, we have another border which is close to Ivory Coast. The security men have all been there, but the Volta or the Togo border is probably the most busiest. So that gets attention quickly. And then the NDC tried to exploit on that and say that, well, the government is against the people of the Volta region. The government cannot be against the people of the Volta region. The people of the Volta region are Ghanaians. When we were doing our registration, Alinko, to put things right, before this electoral commission registration, we had what we call the Ghana card. The Ghana card, we are trying to establish a Ghana card, which is like a green card equivalent here, so that each Ghanaian can be identified, and then we will know who is a true Ghanaian. Going forward, we are trying to build a digital economy. And this Ghanaian card means that a Ghanaian has to possess it. If you're Togolese, you're not a Ghanaian. And that was what A.T. Hammond said, that if you're Togolese, you can't come into a country and claim Ghanaian citizenship, because in the future, you are going to use that card to access benefits that are only meant for Ghanaians. He did not say the people of the Volta region are not Ghanaians.
Yes.
The people of the Volta region produced a president who is called Jerry John Rawlings. So on what basis will anybody unthinkably say that the people of the Volta region are not Ghanaians? The people of the Volta region have produced MPs or parliamentarians that are in our parliament. So on what basis will anybody make that, unreasonable assertion?
Okay, so
you have to ask Katie Hammond to answer that. As to why Katie Hammond said people in the Volta region are not Ghanaians, we don't know. So since he's your member of parliament, I believe he will be in the best position.
He didn't say what you're saying.
But I'm telling you what NPP has been preaching all these years about the people in the Volta region.
Right. Okay. So let's take this caller quickly. Like I said, listeners, we will open the phone lines after 7:20. Okay. Because there's a lot to uncover today, because we're talking about Ghana, we're talking about elections. So, but I understand too your time. So please call out, tell us why you're calling, and then ask your question or pass your comment, and then we can try and open the phone lines after 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. Good evening. My name is Isaac.
Okay.
I'm calling from New Hampshire.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. My name is Isaac. I'm calling from New Hampshire. Durham. Yeah. That's near Massachusetts.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to tell Daniel that yes, he was saying that Votarians are Ghanaians and all sort of this. I'm sure he read about what the current vice president Bawumia said about the Votarians, that they had about over 70,000 Ghanaians on the voter register in the voter region, in the Kati South or whatever, those close to the border. Okay, so he was just saying something about soldiers had been deployed to all the border regions of Ghana. True, yeah, it's true that the soldiers have been deployed to all the border regions of Ghana. Then why is it that they are so concerned about Ketu South? When Bawumia could open his mouth to say that, yeah, in the voter register, you could see about over 70,000 Ghanaian Togolese on the voter register, and Katie Hammond came to confirm it that yes, in 2008 election, when the first round of election going to the second round, the figure just metamorphosized and Atamas won. So yeah, the reason why they sent the soldiers there were because of that, and I'm sure Daniel knows that. So I'm really surprised the way. I know him to be very good guy. I know Daniel to be very objective. So he should just come out and say that, hey, my people, what you're doing, what you're saying is not the best. It's not good.
Okay.
You know, Ghanaian, it's making a lot of people not to believe in a party.
Okay.
And it's really bad.
Right.
So I think going forward, we should just make the point clear that, hey, soldiers are in Volta region, soldiers are in Paga, soldiers are in Alubo. Why should you make a point to Volta region that, yes, because of some Togolese non-Voltarians in the Volta region?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. My brother, thank you so much for making your point. Like I said, we would open the phone lines officially after 7:20, so please bear with us. Let's try
about the Ketu South. Let me finish.
Okay.
To the point that Gabi, when we decided to go for this new voters registered, you know, this issue came out about which constituency is the most popular or whatever is in terms of our politics in Ghana, and which one has the highest population, which constituency and all those. And I think Ketu South came up. Did you remember what Gabi Ochidako said? Among all the constituencies in Ghana, why is Ketu South that is the most popular constituency in Ghana? You see, why would you have to say that?
For the purposes of those who don't know Ghanaian politics, who is Gabi?
Oh, Gabi is the de facto prime minister in Ghana now. You know, he's
the cousin of the president, isn't it?
He's a cousin of the president, but you know, he's the man who called the shots now.
Okay. Do you have facts to back the fact that he's the one who called this?
Alenko, you know, you see, that's one problem about some of us from Ghana. Even when we can
blatantly see it, we don't want to accept it, right?
That's the problem with us. But even
as a presenter, I'm giving you the platform to speak on your party, so I have to, and my audience are listening, and so I
understand you.
Yeah. But you are okay. You made your point on the Ketu South situation,
So you see, in terms of what is happening in Accra, having the military and the police and all the security services parading themselves on the street of Accra, it's not acceptable.
Okay.
You know, we have gone to the polls for 7 straight times. We didn't see these things.
Yeah.
We didn't see what is happening over there today.
That's true.
And it's not a good signal. We are not sending a good signal to the rest of the world, because if we say that we are the beacon of African democracy, and we have been in polls for 6 times in this fourth republic, and none of these things happened during all the ex-presidents' time, and it happened under the Nene Akufo-Addo's administration, then we have something to worry about.
Exactly.
We have to be very serious and tell this group of people that, look, we have image, and we will not allow you to dent that for us.
Great. So, okay, great.
We have gone to polls before. You are not the first person.
Right. Somebody will ask. Right. Somebody will ask. You know, during JJ's time, during the military rule, his tenure all the way up until JM, John Mahama's time, there had been purportedly there had been rumors of civil unrest in these neighboring countries. We've heard them, right? Cote d'Ivoire has not always been stable. Burkina and Mali, they've had their own little skirmishes here and there. Not of course Togo. Togo has been for most part peaceful. So
recently they have all this agitation.
Little agitations here and there. So it's not like we've never had little agitations like Daniel you are alluding to, right? Which is now forcing the government of Ghana to beef up security during getting a few days to our elections. We've always had these type of things. But to Daniel's point and to what others are saying is that we haven't seen this level of security, man. Some from the government level, from the government of Ghana, and others who seem to be not like government, employed security agencies. They wear security attires, and we've seen the videos. So it just raises concern that why this time? Why is it different?
Yeah, but Alinko, I told you that in the Volta region, there've been this security threat, internal security threat about some group of people that call themselves separatists. That said, they want to separate, they create their own state. They want the entire Volta region to be a new state. And so more like calling for what happens in Nigeria, you know about the Boko Haram kind of, insurgents. But unfortunately for these people, the people of the Volta region do not subscribe to what these people who claim they won a Western Togoland are doing.
Right.
So the people of the Volta region have made it clear to these people that they don't believe, they are not ready for any separatist group, and they've disowned this group.
Mm-hmm.
This group, I told you, were able to mount roadblocks within the part of the Volta region called Drapon, that leads to the Volta region. And then for about some 3-4 hours, they were able to block all cars from entering the Volta region.
Okay.
These are not security signals you want to take lightly as a government.
Okay.
So in the past that you mentioned, in the past, did you hear this insurgents or this group of people threaten any of those, other regimes?
No.
The times are not the same. The context is not the same. On top of that, I already told you there's a COVID and we are securing our border. So it's layers of different security, threats that the government has to safeguard. I think that we have to be mindful about these things. If the government fails and something happens to the people of the Volta region, our opponent will blame us and say, because we don't like the people of the Volta region, we've allowed loose security, and then the people have, whatever threats.
Okay.
Come to blame us. So we have to do it as a government.
Before we continue,
I ask you, and I know I'm not the host, but
before we continue,
since we are talking about Ghana, I ask you one question: that do you really know how the national security operates? You never answered that question. But now let me tell you something. Recently, our former president explained to us how the national security operates. Okay, so we know that national security don't go around with pistols and AK-47s hanging around their neck and their banderas and terrorizing people all over. That is not how national security operates. Okay, so you can't use that as an excuse for what is happening over here. Okay, they don't operate like that.
Okay, so let's try and get to our.
We are talking about the separatists. I just told you a few minutes ago that you have arrested all these people. When was the last time you heard that these people are demonstrating or they are causing chaos in the Volta region?
You make the fact that you arrest them doesn't mean the threat is gone. You don't know,
that is not what I'm saying.
Don't reduce it to just an arrest.
Look, and we know who orchestrated that. We know those who were behind that. We know people who orchestrated that.
I don't know them. The government is still figuring out those people.
So that's why I'm telling you that. That's why I'm telling you that we are building a democracy. Akufo-Addo and his administration should stop intimidating the people from Volta region. They should stop intimidating people from NDC.
The Volta region are very respectable people. Nothing will intimidate them. They will vote how they know how to vote, and that will not change their choice of party.
Okay.
The people of the Volta region will not fear any policeman, any soldier man, any security man. They will come out and vote.
Okay,
they don't. But I'm telling you that it's not a good signal. That is what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm telling you that the
So I wanted to get to some of our audience. I mean, the comments that have been coming through on Facebook. Empress Mausi has been with us since the beginning. Thank you so much, Empress, for chiming in. Charlie M, thank you for chiming in as well. Rebecca Mode is also watching us live. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for chiming. I'll be showing your comments very soon, but I want us to look at Asibi Ayimpoka Azaz. Teten, how be you? Gregory is watching us, and Sally is also here. And let's look at we have a few minutes to try to get the phone lines open. So I'm gonna go back to my guest now. Let's talk about economic achievement for both parties. It's been 4 years for Nana Akufo-Addo, His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo, and John Mahama also had 4 or maybe 4.5 years? I mean 5 years, because there was a half term, the year, right? So let's say technically he had 4 years, right?
Let's get that straight before you go into that. President Mahama was never president for 5 years. He was president for 4 years. President Mills died on the 24th of July. Alinco, hold on.
No, you hold on. I was going to complete my statement. I was saying I wasn't sure, so I wasn't emphatic. I said,
okay, then I get you. Then go ahead.
Exactly, yeah. So I wasn't going to do that because I'm not sure of it. So if anything, I'll try to get a confirmation from you. So let's say they both had 4 years.
The reason why I came in quickly is that this is what they have been telling Ghanaians. Even some of them are saying he was president for 6 years and all that.
Okay,
that's
great.
why I jump in to correct that.
Excellent. So callers, we will give you the numbers, right? We will give you the numbers to call in. Please give us. Let's get into a little bit of today. Today is very interesting. So we might go over 8 p.m. We are going to our time. We'll go over our time a little bit. So please bear with us. 4 years for President Nana Akufo-Addo compared to the 4 years of John Mahama. Daniel, your party is in power now. $150 billion borrowed.
Not $150 billion. That is
sorry. Yeah. We're in America, so
that's why we keep putting them in dollars.
So we'll try and get the equivalent in dollars. So tell us, give us maybe a breakdown of some of the economic achievements of the government, of the coming government, with the amount of money borrowed so far.
Right. Thank you, Alinco, for that opportunity. Alinco, like you were giving some, historical context about how Ghana's system kind of relate to the American system. In a nutshell, I'll tell you that it's always been the NDC that drives our economic staff. Our economic staff, meaning that they always take our economy, our economy has always have a downturn when the NDC is in power, and it takes the MPP to rebuild it. Just like in America, for some reason, the Democrats comes to build the economy, and then for some reason, the Republicans, when they're in power, the economy goes south or goes down. So you see that kind of linkage. That is just, by the way. Okay. But when we took over power, we were in what we call in a financial crisis or an IMF bailout. You live in the United States. You know what the 2007-2008 financial crisis meant for the American people.
Exactly.
People's wealth were decimated. People lost their 401k. People lost their investment. The banks were virtually bailed out by Obama. That became a whole policy contention, whether Obama should rescue the bank. Lehman was not rescued. Lehman was allowed to go down. Those that the American government could, rescue, they rescued them. When we came into power, we were faced with the same IMF bailout. The government had run the economy down after inheriting oil. That Kufuor discovered oil in commercial quantity. We never had a penny of the oil monies. We gave it all to them. They inherited all these. And after 8 years, after borrowing and having all these resources, having good cocoa prices, favorable oil prices, everything, this government ensured that we moved from 8% growth. When Kufuor was there was no oil. We were growing at 8% on average. They took us to 3% when they were leaving office with an IMF bailout. On top of that, we had a crisis called the banking sector crisis that they left that we also had to deal with. So since we've been in power, we've been trying to clean up the financial sector mess that they left. They also left a doomsday economy. I don't know if you know about doomsday. Doomsday was unstable power supply. So many of our industries, our companies that were operating these small scale businesses felt the impact of unstable power supply under the period of John Mahama, not under the period of J.E. Mills. It is only under John Mahama that we had unstable power for almost 4 years, almost the entire of his tenure. And it affected a lot of businesses. It collapsed major sectors of our economy. Our hospitals were in dire need of supply. The John Mahama campaign in 2012 used a lot of money, and we had huge deficits, and the IMF had to come in and bail us out with just $1 billion. They couldn't give Mahama more money because they can't trust her. He himself said he had lost credibility. So he had to go to the IMF. Whenever we needed to go to the international market to borrow, the IMF has to give us the green light before investors even trust and believe that, okay, the IMF is standing on your back. I can give you something because the IMF is standing there to watch that you're going to use this money. That was the kind of deprivation that our economy and our economic policy management had been under Mahama. Since we've been in power, we've revived the economy. We are now able to go out there and, we've exited the IMF bailout. We've cleaned the banking sector. At the same time, we are pursuing our policy of, inclusiveness, which is free senior high school for all Ghanaian students that are eligible. We are giving them free senior high school, paying their boarding, feeding, tuition, everything. And the first batch of these students who just completed and wrote their, what we call the exit exams, did very well. And the results is, in the last 5 years, about the best that we've had.
Okay.
So aside that, we've revived the national health insurance that Kufuor brought that was collapsing under John Mahama because John Mahama couldn't pay these monies because the economy was down. We've also, at the same time, restored what we call the teachers' allowances. Whenever we were training teachers in our training colleges and giving them allowances, because Mahama ran the economy then didn't have money, he had to cancel some of these allowances. We have restored it. We have restored the nurses' allowance, the teachers' allowance. We have been able to pay even our university lecturers what we call the book and research allowance. We are investing a lot in education. We are expanding educational infrastructure. We are building the roads that John Mahama, left unattended to for the most part. And then at the same time, we are building 10 sport facilities all across the regions. In each region, we are building multi-purpose sports facilities. On top of all these, our economy is not going down. Our economy is doing well. We are recording surpluses on our balance of payment accounts. And it is not all rosy, but where we take it from.
How is the CD rate looking like?
The CD has been very stabilized. A CD in our period has been the most stable period that we've ever had in our history. Okay. Not to say that it hasn't had some issues in the past, but when you calculate the accumulated, our CD has never been a static exchange rate. It has always depreciated, but we are talking about the degree of depreciation and how we manage that degree. So a large extent, we've been able to manage that relatively well. So even in the COVID.
So even in the midst of COVID, you're saying 150 million Ghana CD borrowed, which is 50 billion. I'm sorry, I keep misquoting this amount. I'm not used to saying 150 million or billion. It's a big amount, so please pardon me. So you're saying that the nurses allowances have been restored with that money. Teachers allowance, you said free HS, right? Free senior high school. Part of that money has been used to do that, and then you build roads, and then sports complexes across 10 sports complexes. There is also the one district, one factory project, and then one district, one dam.
One village, one dam.
One village, one dam. Okay. So are you saying, have these been established, the one village, one dam project? How is that going?
Yeah, so the one village, one dam was
okay, let's take this caller now. This caller is bent on making his point.
720.
So let's take this caller. Yes, I said 720. So please tell us your name and why you're calling, sir.
Hey, Senna. My name is MSA.
MSA, I need you to turn down the device, sir. I need you to turn down the device on which you are listening to us on, so we're not getting feedback.
Sure. I'm actually calling to ask one question and to make a comment.
Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, my first question is to Mr. AMPONSAH. The power boxes which were procured or leased from Turkey, which are sitting in Tema Fishing Harbor, 2 of them. Whose government was that procured? Was that not John Mahama's government? That would be my first question. The rest will be a comment.
Okay, so you want him to respond before you continue with your comment?
Yes.
Mr. AMPONSAH, if you can help us quickly.
Yes, facts are facts. It's not because we are in a political context.
That's okay. That's okay.
Good facts.
Thank you.
I really admire Mr. AMPONSAH's talking points. Mr. AMPONSAH is being very disingenuous. He was saying under the previous government, power, electricity, and everything was slow. Actually, under the previous government, those 2 barges made it possible for us to at least enjoy the somewhat stable power that we enjoy at this point. Okay, and for the record, I am neither NPP or NDC. As far as I am concerned, Ghana actually needs a third party, because from both NDC and NPP, all we keep hearing is your regular talking point, as if some of us are so stupid that we cannot read between the lines, But put that aside. Here's the comment that I wanted to make. Ghana is not facing any external threat. The threat that Ghana is facing is actually from within. It's not from without. And what is really sad for me is we've politicized everything in the country, especially the security services. And when I mean the security services, I mean the police and the military. These two institutions, especially the military, should not be politicized, because the military is there to defend the country, to defend the constitution, and their allegiance is not supposed to be to any one particular or a specific party. Okay, so it's very sad, but let's put that aside. Let me go back to EPIC. Okay, I heard Mr. AMPONSAH was mentioning President Kufuor's achievement. Great. So one thing which we Ghanaians have to take into consideration and we have to accept is this: HIPIC actually didn't do Ghana any good, because what HIPIC did was, it's more or less like, since you all, whenever you talk and you like to compare yourself to America, I'll compare it to America right now, even though I hate to do so. It's like a credit report, a credit rating. If you have a bad credit, nobody wants to loan you money. So once you're on that HIPIC list, if I'm an investor, there's no way I will invest in Ghana, because how am I going to get my money back? So whenever we're talking about all these things, let's be realistic. Let's be honest. Let's talk about these things. But right now, what is happening in Ghana is you have NDC and NPP, both parties Ghanaians, and they all claim to love Ghana. They all claim to be patriotic. But anytime you criticize either NDC or NPP constructively, you get attacked from both sides for not being patriots. Being a patriot is to be able to criticize your government constructively, regardless of party in powers. So this is what both NDC and NPP, and to some extent CPP, you all have to understand. Enough with that propaganda. If you claim to love Ghana as much as you do, start telling Ghanaians the truth.
Okay.
And enough with that, how do you call it? PowerPoint presentations or the talking points.
Right.
That's all I have. Thank you. I'll take my question. I'll take my answer offline.
Okay. Brother MSA, thank you so much for your contribution to the show. Please keep sharing as you're watching on Facebook and on YouTube. Make sure you share so we can engage the community on this particular subject. Ghana goes to the ballot, which is Monday. It's very, very critical. The future of Ghana lies on this particular one. Is all lives matter, and so there is no way that as a society we should condone the oppression of any particular ethnic group or group of people just because of an affiliation to a political party, religion, or sect, or even a tribe. And so I think that as a society, we ought to build a harmonious place for us, because we don't exist in it by ourselves. We have neighbors, and guess what? We are going to leave generations behind who will come and inherit whatever we may have left behind. So it's very, very necessary that we pay attention. ASONABA, our brother made a lot of points before the caller came through. Please make your respond to it, and then I'll let you tell us what His Excellency ex-President John Mahama also achieved during his first tenure. And then to our followers on Facebook, I see you have it. I see you have a lot of questions and comments. As soon as the is done, I'm going to read through. I'm going to make sure that we look at your comments and questions as well. So please bear with us as we try to go through this subject. ASONABA, your time, please.
You see how Daniel was struggling to tell the achievement of Akufo-Addo. You see how he struggled to tell you. You asked me a specific question. What have they done with the 150-something billion Ghana cedis they have borrowed? And he quickly flipped the coin and started talking about John Mahama. Because there's nothing to talk about. He has nothing. There's no achievement. That is why they have resorted talking about building, something that I don't want to mention on this program because people are sitting and eating and watching us.
I don't want that too. I heard it on national TV. I'm like, nah. We can't.
That is why I say I don't want to mention it because it is America. You don't do politics with certain things like that.
You don't do that,
because you have a president, you have a certain president who goes around. Honestly, please, those who are listening and watching us. I'm not trying to be arrogant over here, but I was very, very ashamed when I saw Dr. Bawumia at what they call the place, Tudu area, standing over there as a vice president of the Republic of Ghana. Oh, come on. Anyway, let me forget about that. Those who are listening to us will judge for themselves. But here is the thing. You talk about, you're accusing John Mahama as he's the one who brought Dumsor into Ghana. Do you know when the Dumsor started? Alinko, you know the history of our Akosombo Dam.
Yes.
And those who are listening to you, Daniel, you are in America. I keep telling you, don't do this kind of petty politics. You speak to the fact, like you said earlier on, because you know very well that it's not John Mahama who brought Dumsor into Ghana. When I was growing up in Takrady, there was a load shedding then. This I'm telling you, very long time ago.
Yeah, I think
we started experiencing those things. And I'll tell you one thing.
I think
that this thing did not start on Mama's time.
Rawlings, I think.
See, when Kufuor was in power, and that the situation was getting worse when Kufuor was in power. Do you know what President Kufuor did? Because they don't have any plans, they don't know anything about energy. What Kufuor did was he took some pastors to Akosombo Dam to go and pray at Akosombo Dam. This is what Kufuor did.
Pray for what?
Pray that we can have, I think, we can have a rainfall and we can, whatever. He took people over there to pray and all those things. That is what Kufuor did. And he did that because we were experiencing electricity problem.
Was that when Reku Brobe was the Minister of Energy or something?
And a VRA boss. He wasn't a Minister of Energy. He was
VRA, yes. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know something about it.
He was still there at the time, but he was not a Minister of the Energy. He was a VRA boss at the time. Okay. You see, so Daniel, when you're talking about Dumsor, when you come back, if Alinko give you the opportunity, I would like you to tell us what did you do or what have you done since you took office in terms of fixing the energy problem. Tell us what Akufo-Addo and his administration has done to solve the Dumsor. Because if my memory serves me right, President Akufo-Addo, Vice President Bawumia, you go and you listen to their statement. This is the video. Unless you actually dispute this video at this time, like the way you guys are disputing the bribery allegation against Akufo-Addo, even though there's a video for it, and you guys are disputing that fact. Unless you want to dispute that, Akufo-Addo did not confirm. Dr. Bawumia also did not confirm that John Mahama actually solved himself before leaving office in 2016, because the video and the tapes are all there. You see, so stop doing propaganda of these things. It's not going to help you if you really want to do politics.
Okay.
To the fact, it will take you somewhere. You're talking about. Go ahead, Alinko.
No, you asked him a direct question, so I wanted him to respond because of time.
I don't want to give him my time. I want him to use his own time to respond when you give him the opportunity. Okay. And now the main question you asked, Alinko, if I'm right, was what they have done with the amount they have borrowed, right?
Right.
So it's the same goes with NDC.
Yeah.
What did we do with the $56 billion we borrow? Okay. Now there's this debate going on. I will speak to only Ashanti region. And Ekufado and MPP, they have been challenged to tell the people of Ashanti region, that is their stronghold, to tell what they have done in Ashanti region. Daniel, I was thinking you would take this opportunity to tell us what you have done in your stronghold for the past 4 years. This is what NDC did in Ashanti region. Do you remember Edujama Military Hospital? We started it, 500 and something beds at Edujama in Ashanti region. We built KJTR market. It's over there for people to see. I'm telling you what we use the money for.
And that's number because of time. So I want you to be a little, if you can move a little faster for us, so we can go.
Okay, no problem. If you go to Mampong, the Mampong water supply plant, the treatment plant is over there. NDC built during Mama's administration. I just told you, I'm just giving you a few. We built one of the faculty lecture halls in the Kumasi North. It's over there. You go there, you will see it in Ashanti region. You go to Kumewu District Hospital, it's over there. Go to Fomena District Hospital, it's over there. You see, because of the time, so let me leave that one out. Now we are talking about national schools we started in Ashanti region. It's many of them. At least we completed about 10 of them in Ashanti region. The rest is there for Akufo-Addo and his administration to continue. It's part of the $56 billion we borrowed during Mahmoud's administration. You see, you go to Western region.
$56 billion or cities?
Cities, Alenko. It's never in dollars.
But you said dollars, so I want to say you said dollars.
No, it's never dollars.
I understand. Is the dollar bug? So I guess I just wanted to make it clear.
56 billion cities. And within that 56 billion cities, we have Atuabo gas. It's over there. We built it. That 56 billion dollars. We have Legon Medical Center.
It's dollars again.
I see this. I don't know why we all keep saying dollars. You see, so Daniel, if we're talking about what we actually borrow the money and what we use for, what we use the money we borrow, what we use for, there is a lot of things that NDC can actually account for. And you go to our green book, you have listed all these things in the green book. And the green book, you see, one thing is all these things I'm telling you, there's a towns, you know, we build these things, there's a towns that is actually mentioning everywhere. Everywhere you can, everywhere we build all these things, this project, it's mentioned. You go to, that's why I told you, go to Edujama, you go to Atuabo gas, it's over there. You come to Accra, you see the Race Hospital over there. You come to Circle, the thing is over there. You go to Kaswa Interchange, it's over there. You go to Tama, the extension, port expansion, we did, it's over there. So all these things are over there. Not to talk about Cocoa Rose. Then you came in and you said we inflated the cost, so you want to do auditing. You spend over $10 million to audit the Cocoa Rose. What happened?
Okay, so that's another straight question. Because of time, so let him respond.
He accused us about a lot of things. So I'm just telling. I'm now coming to what they have used the money for.
Yeah, but he hasn't spoken in a while. So let him, give him the chance to respond to that, and then you can also. Okay, because
we have the track record, and I can assure you.
Yeah.
Ghanaians, the descending ones will use this thing to vote against it.
Let him respond. Daniel, before you respond, when MSL called earlier, the last caller, I think he asked a question about some energy plant or something.
Right. Yeah, Alinko, that is why I said, you see, the NDC, when we speak, maybe they don't listen to us. So sometimes they are off track. when we talk about the energy crisis, we are not saying our energy crisis started with John Mahama. We are talking about crisis management here. Under Kufuor, we had intermittent, power shortages, outages. But that didn't take us 4 years fixing that problem. Under John Mahama, we had 4 straight years without any sign in hope as to how we're going to fix this crisis. So it is not about the fact that it started with Mahama. It's about, and when Mahama was coming, he took over from Mills, his own party again. Under Mills 4 years, we never had the same problem to the extent that we had it under Mahama. In all other government, we never had it to the extent prolonged period that we had it under Mahama. Okay. So when we are talking about these things, don't trivialize them and say it started with some other government. Yes, it started with some other government. How did they manage it? That speaks to the very poor management of John Mahama's leadership.
So you were saying that when you came, you said you fixed it with part of the 150 billion Ghana. You used part to fix Dumso.
Not just that. That comes to the question that the caller asked. John Mahama, in fixing the problem, went to bring in emergency power plants. That is one of those that the guy who called was talking about. And they were dropped on station in Tema. And they call it the Ameri deal. So they brought in some thermal plants that will augment our power generation capacity.
Right.
But they were adding a lot of capacity to our existing capacity when we really didn't need those excess capacity, because we are now paying what we call excess capacity charges, meaning that some of these plants that they signed contract for, whether they produce power or not, we are still paying for them. Each year we are paying $500 million for these excess power capacity that is not generating power for us, because they signed what they call a take or leave agreement. So whether they produce or not, you have to pay them. And these are costs that this government is paying. So when they ask you that, what have we used our money for? We are paying some of their bad debts. And did they think that those debts will be wished away because it's the NPP government? Those debts are government of Ghana's debt. Irrespective of how reckless they were in piling up those debts, we'll have to deal with those debts. And that is how we are dealing with. So some of the loans have gone in to pay for those debts, those excess capacity charges that they put out there. Yes, John Mahama brought those power badges, and it is a property of government of Ghana. So we have to deal with it, and we are dealing with it.
Good. So in addition to paying those debts, are you also able to, just like my brother ASONABA mentioned, he specifically mentioned some projects. You also mentioned a few here, teachers, free HS. Would you say that chunk of the money went into free HS?
No, free SHS, yes, a small part of, our big agenda. Indeed, the NDC project that he speaks about, I won't sit here and say John Mahama didn't start those projects, but ask him at the time of the election, those projects, some of them were 30%, 20%, less than 50% complete. It had to take the MPP government to finish up those projects in our term, 2 years into our term. So when you tell me that John Mahama did those things and you are not asking me that MPP should show you within 4 years, why didn't you show us those projects within 4 years, a completed project? Let's enter into our 8th-year mandate, and by the 6th year, you also see our project, just like Mahama left before you were able to complete it.
Daniel, can you pinpoint maybe a few projects that the Nakufadu came to complete that has started?
Some of the projects that even we completed for Mahama preceded Mahama. They didn't start with Mahama, but government is a continuum. So Mahama started like what we call our airport, Kotka International Airport. When we go there, Terminal 3, right? There was huge expansion. We were not against the expansion of Kotka Airport, but we believe that the cost of that expansion was unreasonable. And that has been our problem. That Mahama's project, the cost budget for those projects has only been unreasonable to us, and we challenge that. So we completed the Terminal 3.
I would just like to say I am the Live, Love, Laugh. I just made a comment, and I just want to say I'm here in America, and the politics that's going on in Africa is crazy. What needs to be changed in Africa right now is the Constitution. They need to fix the Constitution. Right now here in America, if somebody steals, if a politic person steals, right, they go to jail. It's in the Constitution. It's written. Africa is 2020. Africa should be bigger than what it is right now. Okay. And I'm just so hurt that here I am in a country full of opportunities that they took my ancestors to come and build this country. They need a leader that's going to make a change. They need a leader that's going to put the Constitution together. In America, the president just can't make a bill. They just can't write a law. It goes to the House of Representatives. If the House of Representatives comes together and pass that law, it goes to the Senate. Before the Senate make a decision, it goes to the president. Then the president can sign it or veto it.
Yes. So live,
you
love.
Understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm just trying to say. African people need to put aside their differences. Whatever religion or whatever tribe you in, y'all need to come together. Because here, if I guarantee you, if we put a person in power, right? They empower, and the president doesn't do what the people want. What the people do? They get together, they protest, they march, and they fight for them to listen. And that's what Africa. They need to speak up. They need to speak up and fight for their future and fight for their kids' future. Okay. That's all I'm just trying to say.
No,
and it's just sad. It's really sad.
It is sad. Live, love, and I do really appreciate your passion. Africa does practice democracy too, at least for sub-Saharan Africa. Most countries in the sub-Saharan Africa practices democracy. Ghana is one of them. We've been doing this for some time now. Now, the issue is that, yes, we also do have a constitution. Ghana has a constitution. Other countries in West Africa that are practicing democracy do have constitutions. So, yes, their issues go through. We have the Congress. We call it the Parliament. So because we were colonized by the British, we tend to do things. We told the British line of politics and democracy kind of thing. So ours is called Parliament, which is equivalent to Congress here, right? So we have all of that. But the thing is that that's why they call us a developing country. You see, America and most of the developed worlds, like the West, they have been through this. They've been doing this for hundreds of years. We just had our democracy or our independence, 60-something years ago away from the British colony. So we've had African countries have had so many challenges in trying to come up with this democracy. The process has been very, very difficult for us. That said, the people are trying, governments have been trying, but we need more of the energy you just spoke about, right? The people need more of the energy. So we, the people, can hold our leaders accountable so that our leaders, when they come to power, will not take the people for granted. And so your point is very, 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 very important. And the two guys here are going to tell us about what the government of Ghana, the current one, and the one that is trying to come in, what types of policies, what type of policies do they have for African Americans? You know what I'm saying? Because last year there was a year of return, and I know they have some dual citizenship thing and stuff coming. So we are going to be talking about dual citizenship and all of that. So I'm really interested.
Okay, great. We need to hear all of that because I mean, like I'm saying, like, you know, I'm here and I don't know a lot about what's going on in Ghana because I'm here in Chicago. But what I'm saying is that from down through history and everything, Africa can be great. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
African people, we all stand together. We all come together as one. Unite. We got too many resources. Too many resources.
Absolutely.
We could build factories. We could give a lot of people jobs. You know, it's just, that's all I'm just trying to say. And I'm just really passionate about for my people and about my people. That's all I'm trying to say, that we can be great.
Absolutely.
If we put our differences aside and come together.
I love your energy. We share the same passion. So I got you. I understand. Live, love.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for sharing. And you gotta share it so your friends can chime in too.
I already shared it 5 times. I did a watch party, everything. I want everybody to know.
You're the bomb.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. So she has a very valid point, and I'm sorry I had to put you on mute for a second. ASONABA, I want you to respond to Daniel quickly. And Daniel, before that though, I was asking if you can tell us specifically, right, some of the projects that you guys completed, because you gave me a video prior to the show. I wanted you to give us something from your party which shows, you know, some the developments or the infrastructure and stuff that you have done, right? And you gave me your piece. I reached out to the NDC community NDC organization, which ASONABA also gave me theirs. So I'm going to play those videos, so that, you know, we can at least see what you all are talking about. So you want to respond quickly, Daniel, to some specific projects?
Yeah, so like I said, those projects, I mean, that I always want us to stick to the fact. Some of those projects started, John Mahama picked up from some other previous government and then took it. He didn't complete them. We came in as a government and we've completed those projects in our term.
Which one? Can
so,
you
like I gave you an example, the Terminal 3.
Terminal
3, the Kutuka International Airport.
Okay.
When we came, it was less than 20% complete.
Okay.
We completed
that is not true. No, Alinco.
What was the percentage? Was it
let him finish. Daniel, so that is then, one. Terminal 3.
The other project that he finished before he left was what they call the Tema interchange, the Circle interchange. That was finished by them. But then they left a lot of these hospitals that Mahama took over from the previous government that they were doing that they didn't finish. We had to finish them. An example is the medical hospital in, what do you call it, Legon. There's also a university in Somena, which is called the Environmental University. When we came, that project was just barely on the ground. We had to complete it. Then when you go to Kumasi, the Kumasi KJTR market that is talking about, Mahama did the phase 1 of it. And then we are doing the phase 2. So in our development, government is a continuum. Any government that continues the project of the other government needs to be commended. You can't say because it's a new government, you should just leave it behind. We have also started our own projects. So some of our projects will not be finished in our 4-year term, just like Mahama could not finish those projects in his 4-year term. So that is what I'm saying. When we go into our 8-year term, we will begin to show you the completion of those fiscal projects, just like you are asking now. So to be unfair, if you could not show us the completed project within the 4 years, to come here and ask me that, I should show you my projects, which are on the ground and coming up. And I'm telling you that when we win the next election, you will see it in our next 4 years. So that is the point I'm trying to make to you.
Daniel.
Alinco, give me a minute.
No, ASONABA, yeah, it's your turn.
See, when we were leaving office, he's talking about Terminal 3. And he's talking about was just 20% complete when we're going. That is not true. Daniel, do you know when Akufo-Addo commissioned the Terminal 3? Do you remember when he commissioned Terminal 3?
Akufo-Addo has not commissioned Terminal 3 as far as I know.
Okay, so what are you saying was 20% complete?
Terminal 3 was not complete when Mahama was leaving office. That is a fact. My colleagues can,
get the fact before you speak to some of the issues. Now let's talk about the UGM.
Mahama commissioning it.
You see, now let's talk about the UGM. UGM, the University of Legon Medical Center.
Who commissioned the Terminal 3?
Nobody commissioned. As far as I know, it's not been commissioned.
Terminal 3 has been commissioned by Akufo-Addo.
No, I don't think Akufo-Addo.
If my memory serves me right, check it. Because he did that when because some of the projects Mahama commissioned it and Akufo-Addo also commissioned it again. So I think that is what is repetition. So let's forget. But one thing that I would like to tell you is in the 4 years of Mahama's administration, before I talk about Legon medical facility that you mentioned. Look, actually, let me talk about that one now. See, don't follow the propaganda of Kwekume Adjuman. This man was asked a question about the Legon Medical Center, and he said, no, it's not completed. Joy FM went over there, and they did the commentary on that. And he actually lied. I don't like to call people liars, but Kwekume Adjuman lied about Legon Medical Center doesn't even have generators.
Who's Kwekume Adjuman?
What? I didn't hear.
No, who's Kwekume?
Minister of Health.
Okay, thank you. Of Ghana, Minister of Health.
Yes. And multimedia send people to go there and do investigation, to go there and survey the place. And they came out that we have actually installed this big power plant over there to operate the hospital. They were talking about there is no equipment in the building. It was just the building. NDC just put up a building. They were saying it's a hospital. It is not true. Do you also remember that when he was sick, they took him to call UGM, and when they went over there to interview him, they asked him, "What are you doing here? You said this project is not completed. What are you doing?" He said he was just resting.
But
he couldn't rest in his house. He went over there to rest. So don't follow those kind of propaganda. You are an American, don't do that. Now let's talk about a project that he's talking about. Mama started and he did not complete them, was not completed when we're leaving office. Okay, look, let me put this together for you. When we're leaving office, assuming without admitting that a lot of projects were not completed and we left office, Ghanaians, they knew that this thing exists when we're leaving office. Tell me some of the projects that you are doing right now that if you lose this election, NDC will come and continue. Tell me some of the major projects you are doing currently in Ghana. Tell me. Let's agree that KJT was not completed when we were going. But everybody in the country is aware that NDC was building KJT market. Everybody in the country was aware that NDC was building Fomena District Hospital. Kumawu District Hospital was there. Everybody was aware that something is going on. At the Jama Military Hospital, everybody was aware that it was ongoing. So tell me, some of the projects you are doing today, that if you lose this election, NDC will come and continue. Nothing. Look, we're doing Cocoa Rose. You came, like I said earlier on, and you put a hold on it. What has happened to you today?
It's
what has happened to you today?
All the cocoa roads, we've resumed them. They are all ongoing. I live in a cocoa
ongoing
community.
Where?
I live in a cocoa community. My road is ongoing.
Spend over $10 million for auditing.
Who gave you that number? $10 million audit? I mean,
check from the finance office. Hold on, somebody. Check from Minister of Finance. You find out how much they spend to build, to do the auditing. You understand? So, Alinko, what Nene Akufo-Addo and his administration is doing to Ghanaians is not right, and we don't have to allow them to continue for the next 4 years. If we allow them to continue for the next 4 years, Alinko, I'm telling you, something will happen in the country. People will suffer because look, all what they are doing is borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing without anything to show for.
Okay.
If you are borrowing, if all this amount you have been borrowing, we ask you, you are telling us that you use some of this money to do the financial cleanup. Are you serious? Then you talk about financial cleanup to add those amount of money to our national debt. You talk about Mahama's project that we left. Let me explain something to our listeners. Look, every project we started, we have to get the loan agreement, and the loan has to be approved. Sometimes when you go to World Bank and IMF and all those things, what they do is, if it's a 1 billion a loan that you are trying to get from them, they will not give you the entire 1 million for that project. What they will do is they give you in part, but they always make sure that all the agreement and everything is signed. So in that case, if you sign the agreement today, that money, Mahama left office with that kind of agreement, it will never be added to the Nene Akufo-Addo's debt.
Okay.
Aliko, you getting me? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
So Daniel, stop saying like we started a lot of projects and we are completing it, so that is what is adding to the national debt. No, that is not true. Because everything we started, we have the money, we have the loan agreement already. So the money is already sitting there.
In there, right. Okay. So
you understand? So you have nothing to show for 150-something billion Ghana cedis in a period of 3 to 4 years, and you have nothing to show for. Look at what they are doing to
Alinko, I need to make some corrections.
Ghanaians now.
He said they completed the Legon Medical Hospital.
It's not even finished. There's a phase 2 to it. That hospital is not complete. There's still a phase 2 that we are
the phase 2 is where? Where are they building the phase 2?
You see, this is the issue I have with them.
When they put up a structure, I've been to Legon Medical Hospital.
By default, that a structure exists, it means that is a hospital. A hospital
you see where it's going. I told you exactly that is the argument.
So this is the problem. They just go out there and put out these buildings and they think that
See, that's the Kokumenis argument. And that's exactly what Daniel is doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
See, Alinko, I've been to medical hospital, Legon, University of Ghana Medical Hospital. I went over there. If Daniel can tell me where they are building the phase 2, I will be glad. Then where did they get the money from?
Okay,
who signed the contract?
Straight question.
Who is building that? Who's the contractor doing the phase 2?
No, straight question to Daniel. Daniel is asking, where is that phase 2 being built at?
Alinco,
yes.
Whenever you go into source projects, right? Project come in phases.
Okay.
So when you finish phase 1, the phase 2 kicks off right after you finish phase 1.
Right.
And depend on the contract and the agreement. And he was
so
talking
the phase
about
2 was what?
Wait,
what is
hold
the
on.
phase 2?
Wait. About these loans, when you go and you get a loan, they don't give you all the loan at a go.
Okay, no.
I said that earlier on.
Daniel, Daniel, please, because of time, I want us to establish things straightforward, right?
Okay.
He said that you were saying that there is a phase 2 of Legon Hospital which is being currently built. Is there on the same campus? Like, is there a physical location where people can go and say, okay, here it is?
Yes, on that same plot of land, there's a phase 2 that is an expansion. You're going to add.
Daniel, stop. Well, I don't know. Maybe you want to be a politician in Ghana one day, but don't say that they will use it against you.
You want to listen to your own propaganda
against you. I don't want my own people to use it against you one day, because there's nothing like that.
I'm not a type that would disregard facts when they are facts.
ASONABA disagrees that there's a phase 2.
He can disagree, but that doesn't change the facts. Did I disagree that the Legon Hospital was in existence?
You are on record saying that people in Ghana right now can go to Legon campus, where the Legon area
hospital.
Right. Where the Legon Hospital has been built. Wait. Let me establish something. Let's see if we can establish something. You were saying that if they go there now, they can see structures that indicates phase 2 of Legon Hospital being built by the current government led by His Excellency President Nana Akufo-Addo. That's what you're saying.
Alinco, get me right. I'm saying that project comes in phases. So when I say there's a phase 2 going on, and today you go there, you don't see another extension of the same building, that doesn't mean that the project is not going on. Hold on. Alinco.
Yeah.
Alinco. Yeah. So if the money, if you say there's a phase 2 going on and the drawdown period has not happened, how are you going to go on with the project?
Then there's no phase 2 going on.
That is what I'm saying. The hospital is not complete in its current form. Okay. There is some other extension that has to happen for the whole hospital that was conceived to be fully complete. So what you see.
But do you also agree that it was the same hospital that they admitted government officials when they contracted the COVID-19?
So the fact that I tell you that there's a phase 2 doesn't mean that the current state of the hospital cannot be operationalized.
You keep saying the hospital is not complete.
It can be operationalized for the things that are being put there right now, right? But it doesn't mean that the extension that is going to come will automatically mean that because that extension has not come, the hospital cannot be used. Okay. That is why they are phases. In my
inference, Daniel is saying that the Legon Hospital, some part of it is working, but holistically it's not yet
right. The conceptual is not finished. That's what I'm trying to put to you.
So when the extension is done, then one Legon Hospital would have been built. It wouldn't be 2, it would have been 1.
It would have been 1, exactly. That's what I was trying to explain in phases.
Okay,
so we are not done. We are not done with the project yet. The project will keep going.
Okay, so good.
Daniel, who built the Legon Medical Center?
Legon Medical Center. Is it not the same thing we are discussing here?
Yeah. You're saying what are you people actually doing right now that there's a phase 2? What are you doing about the phase 2?
But I told
so what are you doing on phase 2?
Agree that there is no physical.
I understand. I'm talking about the same building. Let's forget about the physical second infrastructure he was talking about. I'm talking about the same building. What are you currently doing about the existing one?
The building is operationalized. You just said that the Minister of Finance went there when he was admitted.
But you are the same person saying that it's on phase 2 because it's not completed.
But I don't think you heard me right. When I say something is on phase 2, it doesn't mean the phase 1 cannot be used for, temporarily for what it's meant for. So get the point right. So, phase 2 doesn't mean that you can use the project when phase 1 is complete.
What is your definition of phase 2 being done? Daniel.
Alinco, so that is what I told you that, when you are building a hospital, there is a conceptual view that you have that the hospital must have maybe certain, department to it to make it a full hospital. So if phase 1 was to finish the theater and to finish the administrative block, and I have done that, and I'm here to do the ward and all the other part that will make it a complete hospital, You can't say because I finished the theater and what do you call the administrative block, that is the hospital.
Okay.
When the ward and all the other things are yet to come on board to make it a complete hospital.
So have you started the initiation to build those wards, or you are doing the paperwork for it?
I told you it's a contractual, obligation. So when the contract is there and the first phase has been commissioned and it's working, the second phase will kick in. That and the monies don't, like I told you, the monies, they don't give it all to you. When you draw down, that is when it goes into your debt.
So the second phase has
no. Alinko, let's read something up over here. Daniel.
No,
please.
No, he's saying...
Alinko, please give me 1 minute, please. What did you say when you draw the agreement? They give you in part. So it doesn't matter. The second this current administration can also add that debt to the current national debt. Is that what you are saying?
But that money has not been drawn down. So how are you going to add it to your debt?
What are you talking about? How much was
Alinko, let me ask you a question. If you have a credit card here and you don't draw on that credit card, does it become a debt to you? This is common finance. This is simple.
No.
You understand this? You have a credit limit of 10,000 on your credit card. Does that mean that you own 10,000? You have to spend.
Currently, as we are speaking.
You have to spend. You have to draw down on that.
So, listeners, it's today we're gonna go a little past 8 p.m. It's huge.
I think it's already past 8.
I know we're gonna go past 8 because we haven't played the videos. I don't know if you have some time so for us to continue. Would that be okay with you guys?
Maybe a few minutes, that will be fine.
Okay.
To me, I can go up.
Okay. Okay, that's fine.
8:30.
Okay, that's fine. Let's try and get the videos in, and first we'll play the incumbent government's video, the new Patriotic Party, which is led by His Excellency President Akufo-Addo, who is the incumbent president. We extended the request to get videos or a video that would at least capture, the projects that both parties or both parties have. Both parties have that can show our audience what they have done within their tenure, right? And so we'll play the incumbent government. This is what they give us. So we're going to play it, and then we'll play that of the NDC party, which is the opposition party. Okay.
As we are,
before we continue, I just want to know this is coming from the MPP party video.
As we approach the last days to the elections, political tricksters will spew so much propaganda. Just know that they have an agenda. Remember, you need to stay focused because this election is an election of records. Every great leader suffers vilification, insults, and people say outright lies about them. But truth always stands tall in the midst of falsehood. They said Nana Addo was not a lawyer. They lied. He was violent. Another lie. He was arrogant. Blatant lie. These days of technology, everything is possible. Be careful not to fall prey to propaganda. We need better political environment for our future generation. We do not need politicians who know the truth, yet they will spin them and present them in the form of lies. This election, vote wisely. Do not be swayed by political tricksters and spinners. Vote Nana Akufo-Addo, Odasoro, #1.
Well, you will just watch the video that the NPP organization or the NPP party gave us to play as their promotional material as we go to the ballot on the 7th. Before I play the NDC, just want to recognize our audience. We have Ibn Abdullah Bash from Ghana. Says Mama Fa, and he says, "I'm watching you live from Ghana. Thank you for joining us." Pope GH Pope 1 says, "Yeah, same place." Okay, I think he was talking about when we're talking about the hospital. Campaign Atunsium from G Pope 1. He says, "You see how he's talking like Mahama? Well, ASONABA and his NDC propaganda." Johnny Wood says, "I love this debate tonight since we couldn't get one from Akufo-Addo and Mahama. Great show, Alinko." Thank you so much, Johnny Woods, Minister of Health, Ghana. Okay, that was from. I think we had a couple from GH Pope. Max Selassie, Daniel, why was the newest and best hospital in Legon was not open on time, but sat closed for almost 2 years? Daniel, I think that question goes to you. Only on paper. Okay, so we had, why are the laws of the land? What are the laws of the land? Do the people of Ghana even understand? I think, yes, Ghana have a constitution. Maushi, Ghana does have a constitution. And then Steffi Brooks says, change begins with the people. This bipartisan politics will only hurt the nation. And so there are so many comments. Because of time, I wouldn't be able to go through all of that. Redemption, Kid says, cash out Nana and deposit Mahama. Okay, so you want to answer that question quickly, and then we can go and play the NDC video.
Yeah, the hospital, I mean, when we came, like I said, I mean, when we were taking the inventory and the records, the hospital was not completed, so there was no way we could open it because the administrative, I mean, people who need to work there, all that needs to be, you know, in place. A hospital is not just a building. There's a whole, I mean, software to it, apart from the hardware that you see, that needs to be established before you open it up to the public. And that was what the government was doing. In the midst of that, some people agitated and thought that the government was just being, you know, diabolical. They didn't want to give credit to John Mahama. That was why they were delaying it. But the government, it's not in the government interest to not use a facility like that that will serve the people and even serve the government own interest. So, you know, sometimes people make this propaganda. That was why I gave you that video, that this propaganda counts doesn't really help. No government is out there to punish its people. And so there was a good reason why the hospital was delayed for that number of period. And when the time was right, it was open to the public.
Okay, let me play the NDC video. And before we come back, I would like you all to touch quickly.
You're going to give me a minute to
respond. Okay.
To Daniel.
All right, go ahead.
You see, you keep saying that was a the building was not, you know,
complete.
Was on phase one. We finished the phase one when we were going on phase two and all this. And I keep telling you that is not true. You are doing phase two. You are doing this. You are doing this. And I keep asking you, why was EKUMAH Ajman sent to that hospital when he get the COVID-19? You couldn't answer. It's the same person who was telling you that the building is not completed. The hospital lacks some kind of equipment and all those things. There's no power in that whole building and all those things. But the same person got sick and he was sent to that place on the very, like 3 weeks or most like 4 weeks after he made that statement. And he was sent to that place. And when the investigators went over there was nothing shows that the building is not complete. We completed that building and everything before we left office. It's just that the Nekufado refused to put that building into use, put that facility into use because it was built by John Mahama. Accept that fact and move on.
Okay.
You see, it will not hurt you. Just accept it. It will not do you anything. It will not cause you any harm. Okay. You accept that the Nekufado refused to use that hospital. As we are speaking, what is he doing to that building? The building is still sitting over there. Okay. You keep saying it lacks some kind of operation days and all this, beds and all those things. No, it's not true.
Okay.
My brother, forget about phase one, phase two, or whatever. It's just that you guys have refused to use the hospital because it was built by John Mahama, period.
All right. I know both governments, both the NDC and the NPP have plans for the diaspora. And so when it comes to maybe dual citizenship and stuff like that. So ASONABA and Daniel AMPONSAH, when we come back from the break, I'd like you to expand on, I'd like you to tell us a little bit about it. And then we'll also take a few minutes to talk about what will be the major projects that both leaders have for the next phase of Ghana. So when we come back, we would like to tackle that quickly because
you play our video. Can I ask you for a favor?
Yes, please.
Would you give me, since we are running out of time, would you give me 1 minute? Let me say something before you play that video. In our campaign, John Mahama has been talking about big push.
Big push, okay.
You see? And in the big push, we're talking about the economy, how we can improve the economy. We can improve the lifestyle of the country. We can actually continue our infrastructure development and all of that. So when we talk about the big push, the video you are going to show is an evidence to what John Mahama did when he was in the office. So if he's talking about the big push, it's actually the continuation of things like this. It's a continuation of infrastructure development. You see, that's why I give you that thing, those projects, so that the Ghanaians can have an idea, or whoever is watching us around, it doesn't matter where you are, you can have an idea about what John Mahama will do in terms of improving our infrastructure when he gets another chance, you know, about it. That's the reason why we did not call somebody to come and give a speech about John Mahama's personal lifestyle, or with his certificate, or his achievement, or
The nation builder Mahama, run up your work money. Mahama, Organama 2, Mahani, Sukuwadai, Hospital, Aqua Papa, Segana Beya, Yebediye, Yahumbatoye, Oh, 1 million jobs, Mama, Obabe, yo, Obeye, Organama 2, Missy Alfolugo, Translate. Eyezu, Eyeza, NDC, Mia Alada Nizongo, Kamami, Ingelego, Ghana Bebia. Mama Hama, Miss Rao, Miss Rao, Mama, Organama 2, Mahani, Sukuwadai, Hospitals, Aqua Papa, Segana Beya, Yebediye, Yahumbatoye, Organama 2. Mahama, Sahoto Baba. Translate.
Alinko.
Yeah.
Can I make like just a 30-second comment?
Please, quickly.
Alinko, you see the problem I told you. Some of those projects that they just showed you started with Atomils, but they credit all that to John Mahama, which is the 8 years of the NDC.
Mention 3 or 4 of them that
under the NDC. Some they inherited, and they completely.
Mention 3 or 4 of them that started on Atomils time.
Oh, the Cape Coast Stadium was not built by John Mahama. You know that. The Cape Coast Stadium was built by Tamils.
Okay.
So these are some of the misfacts. I told you the propaganda fees that I was trying to talk to you about.
Thank you for making the point.
So you can only mention Cape Coast.
Oh, I have another.
Okay, go ahead, Daniel. Go ahead.
Do we have anything like this to show for the 4 years of your administration?
They showed you the Atwabu gas. The Atwabu gas, when we discovered oil, it was Mills' period that they went to China to source for 3 billion loan. It started under Mills. The Atwabu gas did not start under Mahama. So,
Daniel.
why Why do you get that to your mama? Because
you have nothing to show for the entire 4 years you have been in office.
So
now,
you see,
instead of you to actually admit that you have done nothing, you are here telling us that, oh, this one was started. You see, that is the problem with MPP. Sometimes.
So we haven't done 8 years. We've done 4 years, and you are here shouting.
I'm talking about 4 years of Mama's administration. Do you know when Cape Coast? Do you know when Cape Coast Stadium was started?
No. Okay. Let's not go into. I think at this point we wanted to show a picture. We wanted to depict what Mahama's government, which is the NDC government, did in 4 years, right, versus what the NPP did in their 4 years. Now,
show me what kind of 4 year.
Even you picture evidence.
Guess what? Visually, we got a video from the NPP people that we played, and then we got the same visual representation from the NDC people. So I mean, I just had to play what I was given. Now, the audience and people would view and make inference and make their own judgment, right? Okay, so I think that we want to take quickly the debate about free SHS. Okay, Ghana is enjoying free SHS. President, His Excellency President Akufo-Addo takes full responsibility of it, takes the credit for it. Daniel, would you say that would be the most paramount achievement of this incumbent government so far?
That is, for me, that is a program that touches on the heart of many Ghanaians because of the difficulty and the importance we attach to education. But there's the free SHS is just for us a means to an end.
Okay,
it's just the beginning of greater things that we need to do for Ghana.
Great, but the argument that this is Akufo-Addo's whole baby project, you agree to that?
Yes, but let's be factual here again. The free senior high school is a constitutional requirement.
Okay.
So credit, needs to be given where it ought to be given. When we got the constitution, it was said that progressively we need to ensure that education at all levels is free, progressively free.
Okay.
So we started with what we call the FQ, which was at the primary level. What you call here elementary? What is that? JSS 3. What would be the equivalent in America?
Right.
So that was done for the most part under the Kufuor government, the Rawlings period. So, but the SS level, we needed to take that next phase on. But like I said, no government hates the people of Ghana. John Mahama in 2012, when even free senior high school was raised by another candidate called Paco Sindo, he really brought it to the fore. And Akufo-Addo also really championed it. And we lost power in 2012. When we are debating free senior high school in 2012, Mahama was against it because he didn't have the resources to implement it. But then in 2016, when he realized that it was catching up with the people, he decided to introduce what he calls a progressive free senior high school, where he gave a bit of tuition waivers to day students.
Okay.
So that was not all day students, just a small portion. He picked some people that he said probably needed it the most, and he gave it to them. And Akufo-Addo said, that is not my vision of free senior high school. My vision is to expand it so that every Ghanaian everywhere will benefit from it. Okay. And when Akufo-Addo implemented his vision of what he means by free senior high school, and that is what we have currently in place.
ASONABA, quickly respond to that.
Alinko, I think I gave you another video when President Mahama actually launched the free progressively senior high school.
Yeah.
And I don't know if whether you watch it, you listen to it or something. Yeah. I know you don't have time to play for it, so don't worry about it. We'll talk about it.
Yes. I have this is my platform, and I want to give it to you guys. So I'm willing to go a little bit about the time. You that don't have the time. If you have time, we can go into issues. So let me know if you have some time for me to play it, or if you want to move on because of your time.
I don't have any problem if you want to play it now before I talk about it, or it's up to you. You decide. So
okay, okay, this is something about this free HS, right?
Right, so that we all get a clear understanding about it.
Okay.
About the issue.
Okay, all right. Hold on once.
Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the singular honor of declaring the progressively free senior high school program duly launched. And Nanano, I believe that this intervention will bring significant relief to parents and households. Beginning this academic year, we are removing fees for all-day students attending public senior high school. Under the progressively free secondary education program, government intends to make going to secondary school free through a progressive absorption of the costs that are currently borne by students and their parents. We will eventually get to the stage where every senior high school student will have the opportunity to go to school free.
Okay. Yeah.
So when Daniel was talking, he started with the constitutional provision for the free education.
Which year was this?
This was 2015 or 2014 when he launched the free education, senior high school.
Okay.
So we have it in our constitution progressively, and Daniel agrees to that. He mentioned it that the constitution says progressively. So that is exactly what we started, and that is what Akufo-Addo is doing. It's just a continuation of what President Mahama started. That's it.
Okay.
There is no two ways about it, but the idea is that we want to build more schools. So we started the 200-day senior high schools so that we will have more facilities for the students, so that when we send them to school, they will have a place, you'll have classrooms, we'll have the teachers' bungalows, laboratories, and all those things, so that they can have a peace of mind to learn. So what NDC was talking about was, instead of putting everything, taking all of the students at once, like what Akufo-Addo is doing, that has actually brought, it has brought a lot of issues. It comes with a lot of issues because of how he actually implemented it. What NDC was trying to do was that we pick some of the areas that we think the financial burden on the program, on the parents, are a little bit high. So they are not able to send their kids to secondary schools after GSS and all those things. Now we call it JHS or something, on all those things. We identify a lot of places in the country. You see, so we started that way, and that, I think, is the constitution. That is what we have in the constitution. That we should start it progressively, and that is what we are doing. So the difference is that Akufo-Addo just came without any infrastructure plan, without any plan B. He just, said, I'm doing free SHS, and he just threw it just like that. And Mahama, for the records, Mahama never said it anywhere that he disagreed with the free SHS, because he's the one who said it. It's constitutional, and we have to do it, and the constitution says do it progressively. And that is all. That's the difference.
All right, quick.
So according to the tape, according to the video you just played, you, Daniel, yourself, you agree that John Mahama launched the free progressively senior high school before we left office.
Okay.
And Akufo-Addo came and just decided to take everybody. That is all.
Quickly.
Alinko.
Yes.
I think you heard me on the facts about the free senior high school. That Mahama launched it for day students, and even not all day students. They selected some day students that they thought were very poor in the countryside, and then decided to do it. As they were living, they owed that money. It was the Akufo-Addo government who paid the arrears for those, students. Mahama just said it on paper, but in terms of backing it with money, the economy had gotten down. He didn't have the money. But because Akufo-Addo was championing it and he knew it was catching up with the people, he did this commissioning. And that is what the NDC are very good at doing. They commission projects that they don't have the resources around, just to show the people. And then Ghanaians have become wise about these things. That was how come they were rejected in 2016. He showed you all those wonderful projects, the same tactics. Ghanaians have come to know these tactics. So they don't take government serious when getting to an election. They sponsored about at least 12 adverts against free senior high school. If you really were for it, why will you sponsor 12 adverts in 2012 against free senior high school?
We were just against the implementation
and the people
of the free senior high school. And if you also agree with me that you also agree with me that your own finance minister disagree with the way we implement the free senior high school, because he said it on the city room. that he doesn't believe in free for all senior high school.
He said that, but in context. So let's be mindful here.
What John Mama said was in context.
Alinko, let me address what he just said.
What John Mama said was also in context. So let me finish what I'm saying.
Let me explain. Alinko, Daniel. The idea is that
Asonaba, go ahead. He's muted. Go ahead, Asonaba. You can finish your point.
Your own Minister of Finance doesn't agree with free for all. He actually agrees with Mohammed's implementation of the free senior high school, that we have to identify the problem, those areas that they cannot afford to pay for their kids, for those things and all tuitions. And we didn't really have, we're not really paying tuition for secondary schools and all those things. In these students, all those things, we were really not paying secondary school fees. But you know, all these petty things you have to bring to school and all those things, PTA and all those things. So we decided to absorb all those things, and so that those areas, the kids can go to school for free. And Financial Minister actually agrees to that. He said he doesn't understand why his child has to go to school for free, because he can afford to pay and even pay for other people's kids. And I think that is exactly what is even happening over here.
Okay.
You see, over here, they identify what do you call them? Middle class, the low income people.
Yeah, low income. Yeah.
You know, you send your kid, and that is exactly what we're trying to do.
Okay, let him respond. Daniel, go ahead.
Alinko, so this is a policy issue, right? Whenever there's a policy, everybody has a perspective as to how the policy has to be implemented. The way he speaks about it, Alinko, here in America, you're able to identify who is poor, right? Based on their income, their tax returns. In Ghana, how do you identify who is poor? We don't even have the data to know that this person is poor. Let me give you an example.
Because you're not ready to do that.
Alinko, you see, this is the problem. The NDC thinks that by just saying it, then it means that it's done. It's not like that. You have to have the tools in place to be able to differentiate who is poor, who shows that their income is low, and we don't have that data. So how are you going to do that? Alinko, aside that, we had this scholarship that we used to call Cocoa Scholarship. Do you know what that scholarship was meant for? And this is our history I'm giving you. That scholarship was meant for people like us who were coming from the cocoa growing areas that were poor. Alinko, do you know that when that scholarship was instituted, the poor people who was coming from the cocoa growing areas never got access to those scholarships? Those scholarships ended up being in Accra, given to the rich people. So we've come from that history before. When you say, oh, the poor people should get it, it will end up going to the rich people. So the rich people too pay taxes in Ghana. And education is not a good that you can privatize. The benefit of education goes beyond an individual. So if everybody is paying taxes, they all must qualify and benefit from a product that is a public good that serves the whole society and that cannot be privatized or monetized for individuals per se. So Akufo-Addo said that no, we have to do it for everybody. Every Ghanaian pays taxes. They all deserve the same opportunity. Education, we're just giving the opportunity to go and exploit it. So give everybody equal opportunity and don't say some people can pay. If today that child becomes a minister or a president of Ghana, it's going to serve the whole Ghana. It's not going to serve just himself. So on that policy basis, we said, no, we don't even have the data to begin to differentiate who is rich and poor and who can pay and who cannot pay. By the time we say we have to go through all that motion, we have to get our national ID. That was not in place. So you have to get the basis of the context of the policy.
Whose brainchild is the argument is who started the free SHS. And we are just telling you that we started the free SHS. And I'm glad that you are agreeing. I hope your colleagues will also agree that John Mama actually started the free SHS. So, I mean, it's just the implementation. And you actually saying the same thing we are saying. And Finance Minister actually agrees with us that,
Okay, guys, because of time,
and the one that we are doing.
Because of time. On any policy, I mean,
what we are saying is that we will come and do it better. Earlier on, you talk about. Let me correct something that you said earlier on over here because I was still going to talk about it. Earlier on, you talk about the healthcare system in Ghana that Kufuor started. We came and destroyed it. We left with a huge debt on our NSI, what do you call it? Health sector. We left a lot of debt over there. But here's the truth. Look, when Atamaris took over from President Kufuor, the health insurance I think we have about 630 to 650,000 people registered. And we took over from Kufo. When we were leaving office, we have almost 12 million people on the national health insurance. So don't throw that on Ghanaians' eyes. We did way better.
Okay, thank you.
More. I don't know how much. I don't know how much percent was that.
All right,
but we did way better than what you did.
Okay, that's
and when we were leaving office, there is this notion that NDC came and destroyed the national health insurance. They left. They couldn't even pay. See, the propaganda that you people use against NDC on all these issues is, you see, that is what is actually exposing you and your government right now as we are speaking.
Let's talk about policies for the diaspora.
So the free SHS, what we are talking about, the free SHS, what we are saying is, we will come and within 1 year, we will end the double track system, period. You people have projected it for 7 years before you can end the double track system we are currently facing in the country.
Okay, double track.
It will take us 7 years according to Akufo-Addo and his administration. Okay, but what John Mama is saying is that we will use 1 year. We will complete all the abandoned projects. And within that 1 year, we will end the double track system.
Okay, good. So that's a point that has been made. He said they're going to end the double track. Let's look at policy for the diaspora. What does the current government led by His Excellency President Akufo-Addo has for the diaspora in terms of African Americans and all that? Is there any plan for dual citizenship? Is it currently going on? Please help us establish that in a minute if you can. Just make it quick for us, Daniel.
Yeah, Alinko, we are really welcoming of our, brethren and brothers or sisters who are in North America, all over the world, who wants to come to Ghana and relocate. Ghana is a peaceful place. There's a lot of opportunity. They can take it as their second home. We are prepared to let them go through the process and give them citizenship and let them live in the country. And you saw that through the year of return and how successful that was. And some people who already have been given citizens are already living in Ghana. And aside that, we also need to create the environment for our people so that when they come, it's safe. And so the security of our country, and like you saw, it's one of those key things that we need to put in place because our people need good security. Our healthcare system, when they come, they need to be assured that there's good healthcare system. We are trying to bridge or complete those healthcare systems and build new ones so that when they come, they can have a place. We're also trying to make Ghana the, investment hub for Africa. We have the African Trade, Commission that has been established in Ghana under Akufo-Addo. We are trying to revive factories so that when our people come, they can transfer some of their skills. On top of that, we are trying to establish what we call the diaspora bond. We have an office of the diaspora at the presidency that coordinates all diaspora activities. And this is Akufo-Addo reaching out to the diaspora because the diaspora creates a lot of wealth that they can transfer to Ghana. So in the coming, if we hopefully as we win this election, we'll be coming up with a diaspora bond where we will solicit funds from our African brothers, wherever they are in the world, to be able to buy into our bonds and contribute to our development and create that enabling environment for them as they transition to Ghana. So Ghana is open to business and is open to all of them, and we welcome all of them. And we are really looking up to them to come and, help us develop Ghana because there's much talent that they bring to the table. And it's unpriced, and we really believe in their capacity to deliver and the skills that they have. It's so important to our dear country that whoever they are listening to me, watching us, they are welcome to Ghana. They should take the advantage to visit. Ghana is really a peaceful country. We are welcoming of visitors. They are not even visitors. These are our brothers who left us some years back. Right. So I will say that Akufo-Addo really is in for business and is ready for them.
Open to the diaspora conversation, and he's definitely showed that last year. ASONABA, please, is there any? Can you help respond to this particular question? Does the NDC have, led by His Excellency ex-President John Mahama, have any plans for the African Americans or for the diaspora?
Okay, you see, I think you sent me something about dual citizenship too. Is it you want us to talk about all of them together,
it's all part of it. Yeah, those are the,
it's all part of it. Okay, one, we have dual citizenship, and I think we actually amend the laws in 2001 or 2000, just to make it a little bit flexible and easier for our brothers and sisters over here if they want to go back home, if they want to have dual citizenship. So I think it's a little bit easier now. So the first thing is, if we're interested to move to Ghana, I think the best thing to do right now is just try to get your dual citizenship first. You can just go online, you submit your forms to, I think, Washington, D.C., Ghana Embassy in Washington, D.C., and they'll forward it to, I think, Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Ghana, and you go through all the process. And if you are approved, you get your dual citizenship. So,
okay. Do you know if the NDC part, John Mahama, who's the opposition party leader, do you know if he has any plans for the diaspora?
Yeah, I'm coming over there. We started a lot of programs. Actually, I lost my paper that I put a lot of notice on it. But that is a national issue. It's not about, we don't have to even make it like, oh, this president comes and he has this plan for diasporans, and this president comes and he has this thing for diasporans. I think it should be a national issue. Say that again.
No, I said right.
Yeah, I think it should be a national issue. We should have a policy for the diasporans, because when Akufo-Addo took office, I remember one thing that he did was inviting the diasporans to come home and do. I'm not talking about the year of return. There was this thing that before the year of return that he did. If you remember this guy, when he said we come and we whine too much and all those things. So I think it should be a policy that will actually encourage people over here to go back home, especially our brothers, African Americans, those who business, who can transfer some of their businesses over here to Ghana and in general, Africa in general, to go and help our brothers and sisters over there. I think they have to do that. But as a political party having an policy for them, what about if you leave office and then the next administration doesn't agree with your diaspora policy?
Right.
What are you going to do? They will just throw it away. So I think we can do better than that. We can just, have a national policy.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
I think the best to do is to have a national policy, so that it will be there for our people outside Ghana, the diasporans. If whenever they want to come home, whenever they want to bring some business, whenever they want to invest in our economy, we should have that kind of easy way for them to bring, money and all those things into our system.
Great. Okay. So there are a few questions, but because of time, we can ask, can go. There's a lot of questions on the Facebook feed. And so viewers, please pardon me that I'm not able to go into I'm not able to read all the questions, but I probably would put them on the screen whilst I ask you to give us your last words. It's 8:45 p.m. We haven't taken no commercial break apart from those videos we played. We're talking about Ghana, right? And in our politics, we are going to vote on the 7th. So this is very, very dear to our heart. So as you can tell, everybody trying to share their view. We could not even give out the phone line so you can call in. We wanted to do so. But please pardon us. Hopefully we can come and do a prognosis, or a post show, right? Post Ghana elections. And we are praying that will be peaceful. Whoever wins will have the mandate and the support of the Ghanaian people and people across the globe. So, guys, we didn't get a chance to speak about the manifesto and some of the things that are in there, but let's use it as a closing statement. Why should anybody in Ghana vote for Nana Akufo-Addo? And I'll always give it to you, because I'll give it to Daniel, because you're the government in power now. And so why should anybody, based off economic achievement of Nana Akufo-Addo and maybe one or two critical projects in the manifesto, can you put it in a nutshell for the next 2 minutes? Put it in a nutshell.
In a nutshell, what we are trying to do is we are trying to digitize our economy so that we can reach every person wherever they are through technology. And in that process, we have almost through to getting what we call our green card, which is the Ghana card. That process has almost, it's almost complete. And we are seeking to integrate a platform. We now have what we call a universal payment code, QR code, where you can buy stuff and pay with your code. We have mobile money wallets instead of people using cash. We want to make the society a cashless economy and a digital economy. We've cleaned up the banking sector, so we have a strong banking sector to support our economic agenda. We have free senior high school, providing opportunity for all these students so that when they come out, they are literate, they can participate in this digital economy. At the same time, we are trying to build what we call the, industrial hub. Given that now Africa, we have the Africa Trade Commission in Ghana, the whole of Africa, we can send our goods to any part of the continent without any tariffs. At tariff-free. And so we are trying to build the one district, one factory to produce or process processing materials from within our local economies within Ghana and export them to the rest of Africa. In so doing, we are building jobs, we are building sustainable employment, and at the same time, we are trying to provide what we call, digitized address so that people can locate people. We've already, resourced our hospital with ambulances across all the country, about 300 ambulances, state-of-the-art ambulances. We are building stadia to provide opportunities for students or people to, exploit their sporting talent. On top of that, we are building a stronger economy that is capable of sustaining, the progress that we've made. So in our second term, we seek to integrate all these pieces together, jigsaw together, and by the time we are done, Ghana will be really one of the most admired economies that is technologically driven, that is efficient to run, and that it's producing the sustainable jobs that the people of Ghana require to be able to keep a very decent life. And we hope that will help us reduce poverty drastically. On top of that, we are fixing our roads, because road infrastructure is key to our development. So we are fixing all the major roads, and the quality of the road is top notch, so that people will have a decent, means of transport. And we are also fixing our railway sector. We are connecting the country through rails so that we can transport raw materials. We are building inland ports. We are building ports across the fishing harbor areas so that our fishing folks can, have a very decent harbor to do fishing and also ply that trade that they are very much known to. So Ghana, we are also seeking to build what we call an integrated aluminium industry. We are seeking to build a petrochemical industry because we're an oil exporting country. So there's a lot that is going to happen in the next 4 years of Akufo-Addo. And when we come back after 4 years, Alinco hopefully will be alive, and you will see that the NDC has really been, very, very disappointing in terms of, pushing our developmental agenda. They've been crawling, but now we want to walk because we needed to have gone past this stage long ago. But for the NDC, we've always been crawling, and this is the time we need to protect our transformative agenda. That is how our manifesto says that protecting our progress, because we want to protect this progress. We don't want the NDC to take us back again, like they did when they took us to the IMF bailout, for us to start taking again from the hole. And that is why we are seeking the second mandate, that the people of Ghana will consider all these things that we are putting together, that is going to come all around together in our second term, and then provide that Ghana that will be the beacon of the world, and that Ghana that even he, ASONABA, will be proud of, and we say, yes, Akufo-Addo has done it for Ghana.
Was the one district, one factory successful?
Oh, it's successful. There are so many of them coming up. Some of them are already operational. And so,
One village, one dam, was it successful?
Yeah, the one blade, one dam, like I said, is meant for the people of the northern region. And we are building a multi-purpose dam, one of the biggest investment, about $900 million. That has just started off. We are going to build irrigations to irrigate our land and provide food to our people. The northern part of Ghana is really rich with agriculture. And that is where these dams are meant to help the people rear these animals and provide dry season farming. And so it's ongoing. But the NDC, as usual, will say it's not going on. But the people will decide come December if those dams were what they requested for or not. They will vote on this issue.
Absolutely. ASONABA, your turn, please.
And if you ever get the opportunity to speak again, give me 5, one district, one factory, and 5 of the dams that you have constructed that is actually in use right now. But Alinco, let's do this.
Okay.
His Excellency, the former President, John Dramani Mahama, he was the head of the economic management team in 2010, 2011, when Ghana actually achieved the highest economic figures. I don't know if you know that or if you remember. 14.0 or 14.1. That was President John Dramani Mahama. And if you look at 2016, when we were leaving office, I think we were somewhere 3.6 or 3.7. And the reason is that the reason why we declined so low was that we were facing these challenges of doomsday. Okay. So our economic activities was, somehow in a bad shape a little bit. But if you look at what John Mahama was doing in terms of energy to solve the problem, all the predictions from the IMF and World Bank and all those economic institutions around the world predicted that our economy was going to grow. We were going to go back to around 8.5 or something like that on 2017, because we have actually solved the doomsday. So the economy will get back on its feet and we'll move on. But let's put that aside. If you look at what is happening right now under the Akufo-Addo, if you ask them, they will talk about coronavirus. But Alinko, do you know how long we have gone through with this coronavirus?
Yeah, at least 8 months, maybe. Okay.
And the first thing we did in the next 3 months, about 3 months' time, was we ran to IMF to borrow money. He was talking about we going to IMF to get policy credibility. So he was using that against John Mahama. Have you forgotten that when you came into power, you went for an extension? Go and ask Osaf Mafu and Dr. Baumia. They went for an extension, okay, on those things. So in terms of the management of Ghana's economy, you cannot compare the records of Akufo-Addo with John Mahama. No, it's not going to work. Akufo-Addo is below somewhere. You don't do that. But let's talk about more important things about the reason why we have to vote for John Mahama again. Look, you're talking about our manifesto. Our manifesto, I mentioned it earlier on. The big push, 10 billion. 10 billion. Now we are talking about dollars. It's $10 billion. Now it's not cedis. We're talking about $10 billion big push. And it's going to go with agric, because as we are speaking, agric is growing at 0.8 or something under the Akufo-Addo. We are going to go back on agric sector. And what we are going to do is, in Myanmar, those things that we used to give the farmers for free, that Akufo-Addo has come and canceled all of them. Remember, fertilizer, ammonia, we're giving the cocoa seedlings and all those things. We nurture them and we give it to the farmers for free. When the cocoas are old, we nurture those things and we replace it so that they cut the old ones. Then they actually put the new seedlings and all those things. And we're able to come out with this modern technologies and all those things. So by the 3-4 years time, 2.5 to 3 years time, you start harvesting your cocoa already. So we are going to go back and do that. It was in this administration that 1 million metric tons of cocoa. That was the highest we ever achieved in our cocoa industry, was during Mahama's time, NDC time. So we are going to go back and started doing all these things to help our farmers in all those things. Cocoa, especially cocoa growing areas. We're going to go help them to actually pick up again. You talk about the fishery. If you go to Elamina, we were giving a free premise to the people on the fishing areas. Okay. What did these people do? They came back and they started giving it a contract. You go through third person and they are selling it now. That is why when you go to Elamina Fishing Processing Plant, we don't have any fish over there. We are not storing anything over there because they cannot, the fishermen cannot afford to buy those premises now as we are speaking. And then Akufo-Addo. So John Mahama in 10 billion push, it's a big economic boost. It's going to work with, like I said earlier on, financial system. We're going to make sure that we build our system again like it was. before we left office. He came, he said he's doing financial cleanup. What happened? Now it's getting worse.
Okay.
Our situation is getting worse.
Right.
Look, there is no infrastructure development going on in the country. Nothing. He cannot even show us one project they are doing. All what they are doing is talk here. They come and they narrate the story so sweet that if you narrate this story to a woman, he will follow you right away. He will think like you have billions in your pocket. You see, that is what Daniel and his people are doing. They don't have anything to show for. But in the 10 billion, we will do education. Education is in that 10 billion boost. We will make sure that our institutions, educational institutions, the facilities, we will do more. We will rehabilitate all those things. And remember, those things also create employment. You see, you cannot tell me that you digitize the country, but people don't have a job. Okay. That alone is not enough. Look, we were here when Dr. Bawumia said he's doing Ghana Post. What did we actually gain from the Ghana Post anyway? What did we gain from Ghana Post? It's a waste of money. It's a financial loss to the state. See, we could have used that money to build some vocational school somewhere.
Okay.
At the time he was using that money for, I'm not saying we don't need those things, but look, these people, it's just a sweet talk.
Okay, so you were saying that John Mahama has $10 billion allocated for the next, if he does come to power.
That 10 billion, the 10 billion we are talking is just like a 20% or 25% of our entire economy. So it's a huge money. So if you strike the policy for the 10 billion big push, right, it's going to actually build the country. It's going to make us strong. We're going to be, Ghana is going to be one of the countries in Africa that people will be envious, our neighbors.
Yeah, exactly.
If you follow the policy of John Mahama about the 10 billion push.
Okay. Now
so it's not about this thing you are sitting here and talking about digitization of the economy and all those. Yes, it's good. All these things are good. What about the kids that they are sitting somewhere in Kumbuku Yojo that they cannot even get a proper school facility to go to school in?
Right. Okay.
If you go there and you put a satellite over there just to give them information and all those things, and when it's raining, they have to go home. When it's evening, they have to go to bed empty stomach. Their parents don't have jobs. The hospitals are broken. There's no proper healthcare over there. Right. What have you done? Nothing.
Because of time, we want to end it here. ASONABA, your reason for people to vote for Mahama is that there's a $10 billion budget or $10 billion plan that John Mahama has, His Excellency John Mahama is the leading flag bearer for the NDC party who is trying to come into power. And this is a part of his manifesto that when he comes to power, he is going to sponsor his economic activities with this $10 billion, probably with additional funding from, borrowing, if that's going to be the case as well, or maybe from the revenues generated from national resources. Well, listeners, now quickly, the exchange rate was for the exchange rate then and now. Daniel, quickly, I know it was the last words. You think that we've done well with the exchange rate since your government came to power? Yes or no?
Yeah. I'm an economist, and therefore, exchange rate in itself, it's not about the rate of depreciation. Our exchange rate has depreciated since the Nkrumah era till date. It's never appreciated in the way you see it. So it is about the degree of the depreciation, because people need to plan. They need to be certain. So that degree, we've been able to contain it relatively much better, and business are better. At some point, it went off relatively in a short while, and that is what happens with currency. Sometimes they get off. But over the long haul, we've really had a stable stabilization of exchange rate.
In 20 seconds, you gave me a concise answer. Do you think they did well with regards to the foreign exchange, currency exchange? ASONABA, you want to respond to that quickly?
No, Daniel, I will advise you on one thing. Don't follow Baumia's economics thesis.
I'm an economist myself, and I speak to my
no, I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying that don't follow.
I speak to my profession, and I speak what I know. I
understand that. I'm just saying, but I'm not talking about your profession. I'm just saying that don't follow Baumia's economic lesson. But Alinko, look, you talk about the inflation. When Atameros took over from President Kufuor, the city was one cedi 27 pesos to $1 when Meres took over from President Kufuor. Kufuor actually changed. Remember, our redenomination was 90 pesos to $1. But within that period of 18 months, when he was leaving office, we were somewhere.
It wasn't 90 pesos. So remember, we're talking about thousands, 9,000. Remember, 10,000.
Talking about after the redenomination.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Okay, go on.
Yeah. So when Kufuor was leaving, it has jumped from 90 pesos to 1 cedi 27 pesos, and Meres took over from Kufuor. At the time we were leaving office, when Mama actually became a president, it was I think almost 3 cities.
Yeah, 3 cities, yeah, something like that.
Almost 3 cities.
3.3.
And we left office when it was close to 4 cities. Let me run it up.
Yeah.
Close to 4 cities when we left office. Now, Dr. Baumia's favorite saying, when the fundamentals are weak, exchange rate will expose you. This same vice president today is saying that statement was true then, it's true now, but it dwells logic. Do you see the people we are dealing with?
Yeah, okay.
Today.
That's right. Yeah. He said it was true now, it is true today, but with
logic behind it.
And it's logic, and there's a condition, right? So it's condition.
That is what he's trying to say today.
All right, that's fine. That's what he's saying.
You see how these people are ruining the country.
Look.
You see how these people are ruining the country. So
yes.
Now let me finish. Give me a second. Let me finish. If you look at what is happening right now, the reason why Daniel is here saying that the city is the dollar is stable as we are speaking is that it's because of the COVID-19. You know, COVID-19 has put a cap on the exchange rate right now because our people are not going to China, they are not going to Dubai.
Right.
So, you know, the dollar we needed in our system is a little bit stabilized right now because those activities are not going on. It's not something that you have to boast about it, Daniel. You know very well as an economist that if these things are not happening currently, if we are not facing this COVID-19, this inflation will be somewhere, a dollar will be somewhere close to maybe 8 cedis.
Okay.
Just 30 seconds to that statement economically, yes, the demand side is down, but ASONABA, there's the other logic to it too. The exchange rate is not only moved by.
There you go. I know you will come with Baumia's logic.
No, it's not about Baumia's logic. I mean, let's be factual here. ASONABA, when the economy went down for COVID, emerging economies became fragile, and investors were pulling their money. So investors pull money from Ghana. So that there's this other argument to it too, that investors were pulling dollars from Ghana, and so how come the city didn't go down?
Okay. So on that note, we would have to end the discussion.
Alinko, hold on. That did not hit Ghana that much. Like when we're going for trade, that we have to buy the dollars and send it to China and Dubai and all those things to go and buy goods and come and sell. The investors, they transfer their money through proper channels. They transfer their money through Bank of America and Bank of Ghana and all those things. So there's, you know very well that that's your profession. So you know very well that how they took their money out of the system. It's not like the way we chase dollar and all those things that was affecting the exchange rate. You know very well that is not the issue.
ASONABA and Daniel, I gave you the chance to tell us why Ghanaians should vote for your representative, your respective candidates and party. And I hope that you will get a chance to do exactly that. To our audience, we are very thankful and grateful for your time and your commitment, your contributions as well. I'm going to try and go through some of the comments real quick before we end. Selima Pokua says, most Ghanaians have lost the trust in politicians, but that notwithstanding, MPP is still doing well as far as project and stability is concerned. That is from Salima. And then, okay, great conversation tonight. Please let's all pray and ask God to help us make Ghana bigger and better. It is today, which from live, love, laugh. That's a very beautiful name. Thanks for that contribution. I wanted to read a comment here from somebody that came in, somebody that had a comment up here. From Ishmael Teria Lachichi says, Daniel, if I may ask, can you go for treatment in uncompleted hospital? Let's give credit to the person who deserves it and stop liars. What are you doing clearly shows that MPP will not concede defeat when they lose. Abba. Okay, that is from there was a comment here from Pastor Ate that I know I missed that I'm trying to get. Belinda Azaz also had a comment. Okay, Maoshi says, what are the laws of the land? Do the people of Ghana even understand? I think we already read that. Pastor Ates, let me see here. Okay. He said that I understand that the police presence in Volta is a security issue, but it's not a good look. Many suspicious can be suspicions can be made. Maybe that's what he meant to say. Many suspicions can be made, but I see many suspicious can be made. So I hope you guys will figure it out. But I think it's assumptions. I believe there are other ways to maintain security without an overt military presence. That is from Ate Aprong. And then Sally Apopo says, oh my goodness, is this guy serious? I wish that I had gotten this earlier so I could have. There is no justification for these military folks with guns parading in the Volta region. It's just unacceptable. They were there during the registration period and left as soon as it was over. Why are they back? All right. So those were the questions, and then another one. Those were the comments, and then Empress Mausi says, yes, the security are there to intimidate the airways. Stop lying. Which other concerns are there? Okay. So I think we went through some of the ones. Okay. So Sarah Ogedo just popped in. She says, this is a great discussion. I came in a little late. I wonder if the presenters have spoken about the selling the rights to most of the governments. Selling the rights to most of government. Let me see if I can, maybe bullion royalties, as Ghana is one of Africa's gold producer. What are the implications of this long-term, considering this is a short-term deal for cash? I think she's making reference to this economist did a story on the issue. Thank you. Good discussion. I think this one will take us into another hour or two, right? So I think maybe it's the Japa thing she's talking about. I think the Japa royalty deal. There are a lot of issues that have come up. However, we only can touch on some. Even the manifesto, we didn't get time to dive into it. But gentlemen, I am very grateful. Daniel AMPONSAH, who is a communication team member of the NPP USA, and also by professionally an economist and political science, or I'll say political independent political analyzer. Can we put it that way? And ASONABA is the NDC Chicago chapter organizer. They have helped to look at the topic and on the table today, which is Ghana goes to the ballot. To you, our audience on Facebook and YouTube, we are very grateful for your contribution, for helping the show those that called in, I really, really appreciate you. You had been listening to this show on Facebook, of course, watching and listening to us on Facebook Live. We were also carried by My Star Radio. My Star Radio is a Pan-African radio station in Washington, D.C., Pan-African radio station indeed for this earning listener. Next week, we shall be coming your way with issues stemming out of Africa, issues brewing out of some parts of Africa. We will be discussing it on this show. Remember, this is the community building show where we deal with issues or talk about situations that relate to you and I. And so on that note, I would always want to encourage you to keep the conversation going on in your homes, keep sharing the feed, and also go on our website, www.theprogressivemindshow.com, so you can contribute to what we're doing. Your substances is very valuable, and it helps us keep this platform going and even improve on it. On that note, I say God bless you. To whom much, my brothers, Daniel, AMPONSAH, ASONABA, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you so much for
thank you for the opportunity, Alinka.
Brilliant. Yes. And yes, this show was also carried live on Trend Africa TV. This show was also carried live on Trend Africa TV in addition to My Star Radio. Well, on that note, I say to whom much is given, much is required. This has been your host, Sena, aka Alinco. We shall be coming your way. God bless Ghana. God bless Ghana.
You too.
Daniel, you were muted. So God bless Ghana, God bless America, God bless Africa. But we are praying for Ghana for everything to run smoothly. Let peace reign, let democracy reign, and let the legitimate winner come out victorious. All right, with God's help. God bless you all, guys. I really
appreciate too.
Yes.
Everybody is too.
We are number one on the ballot. Just being number one.
It's on two.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Bro, Daniel, nice meeting you, bro.
Nice meeting you.
Bang, 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 bang. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, I zone to bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, I zone to bounce. Holy go crazy, I zone to bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, I zone to bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, I zone to bounce. Choo crazy, I zone to bounce. Your feet crazy, I zone to bounce. If let's go crazy, I zone to bounce. Belly go crazy, I zone to bounce. Mini nani. Zanko is boring. Giddy sonny. Naja be touching. Asoto die eye koko. Naja for friend no alingo. Asawe die eye simple. Father don't call me now. Watch me do my azonto. Now watch me do my azonto. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one. Azonto bounce. Can't move body. Dance to the beach right na na na. Ziggy go crazy, I zone to bounce. Holy go crazy, I zone to bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, I zone to bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, I zone to bounce. Choo crazy, I zone to bounce. Your feet crazy, I zone to bounce. If let's go crazy, I zone to bounce. as on to bounce. Back, yeah. As on to like my money, I bring them back like Sankofa. I spice some small, papa. You hear more songs from my own bada. Forget it, no man can contest it. Forget it, my asunto blow bad, forget it. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, asunto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beats right na. Ziggy go crazy, asunto bounce. Holy go crazy, asunto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, asunto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, asunto bounce. Choo crazy, asunto bounce. Your feet crazy, asunto bounce. If let's go crazy, asunto bounce. Belly go crazy. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, asunto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beats right na. Ziggy go crazy, asunto bounce. Holy go crazy, asunto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, asunto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, asunto bounce. Choo crazy, asunto bounce. Your feet crazy, asunto bounce. If let's go crazy, asunto bounce. Belly go crazy, asunto bounce. Asunto bounce, asunto bounce, asunto bounce. If you like to dance, then don't worry. I made a new one, asunto bounce. Can't move body, dance to the beats right na. Ziggy go crazy, asunto bounce. Holy go crazy, asunto bounce. Dance God Lord crazy, asunto bounce. One Bob Molly crazy, asunto bounce. Choo crazy, asunto bounce. Your feet crazy.